Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
She saw the graphic. Ooh, that was a strange. Oh, it's in. Go in. It is in. It hit the back wall. Karam to the post. Hit Dobish in the back of the leg and went into the net. Sabres crowding the front of that. They work into the front. Benson scores. Zach Benson. A power play goal. And a 3-2 Buffalo lead.
Box around red. Left for Wendy. You've been talking about that for 3 months, waiting to see that and unlocking it here in the playoffs. Poking inside. Unable for 2. Timeout, Minnesota.
First pitch is swung on and driven to left field and deep. If it's fair, it's gone. See ya. First pitch home run for Paul Goldschmidt. What a way to start the game. And the Yankees are up 1-0.
Faces Josh Overbeek, who takes it the other way. Being waved around is Grigo. And Grigo will score from second base on an RBI single by Josh Overbeek. Moyer back to the middle. That's going to be a single. One is in. Here comes Overbeek standing up. And a 2 RBI single for Mac Moyer.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Good. Shane, you mixed in those are both you mixed in a little Handles, Nicholas Handles and Larry Punitives.
He was there.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Both my friends.
Both your friends?
Yeah. I mean, I rock with the network.
I was listening to...
And I've worked with Larry since I was about 12.
What was putting me on this weekend?
Which does make him 78 years old.
I don't know that he's 78. That might be a little...
We have a very good time on broadcast together.
Yeah, you guys do state football together?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was on what baseball game was he on this weekend that I was watching?
Probably Iowa, Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was on PBS.
They were playing softball.
NP.
Oh, he is here.
NPB.
I actually asked him. No, you don't have to fix that. Damn it. Do something constructive with your life for once, Rico, besides procreating. My little fornicating friend. Why did he fix the camera? I had it just right.
I don't know, but the bird on the way out was funny.
And it was a stiff finger, too. That's how the majority does it. You know, we don't like when well, people just lob the bird differently. So
wait, how does the minority
I don't know.
do it?
I don't know.
Are you guys like thumb out?
Nah, it's like it's different.
Do it down here so you don't feel like vulgar.
Well,
I'm trying to see it.
The point of it all was Rico's had zero bend, which means he seriously meant it.
Yeah, no,
it was like
there was some starch on that one.
Yeah, Joker was ironed. Hey, by the way, little dude,
we can flip
those
people
are
off.
Fantastic socks. Dude is rock. Those were Nebraska socks, right?
No.
Oh, I thought they were red Nebraska.
No, they're Dorito socks.
Oh, that's even worse. You're in the severe club. This dude is wearing red Doritos socks. I thought that was a Husker.
I didn't even see it. He wears goofy socks all the time. I never even look.
I've got Dorito socks. I've got Pop-Tart socks. I've got taco socks.
Yep, you're definitely severe.
I sent you the password for Wi-Fi.
Thank you. Do you know I haven't had it since we've been in this building?
I did not know that.
Well, Sasha usually does it. I know that sounds stupid. I should be able to do my own Wi-Fi.
No,
but
fine.
At the time when we moved, I think she was one of like 4 that knew it.
Oh yeah. We got up here early,
and then I forgot.
Well, yeah, on your cell phone especially.
And a lot of times now, like I'm not really on it during the show, so I don't need it.
I know you got so many people around here to talk to. You don't,
Dude, it's crazy. I did ask about you, Rico. I got out. Robbie came to check on me. He gave me the thumbs up, and I gave it to him back. But then he actually waited for me, so that was like, I guess we'll walk in together. But I asked if you were going to be here because it's not the same when you're not here.
And I said, I think so. And
but I don't know about spending $612 to drive from Lincoln to Omaha either, because this gas is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start having some conversations with Ravi.
Bruh. I mean, we might have to have a GoFundMe. What?
Never mind.
You ain't got no kids. Pinch in.
What? These are other people's life choices, all right? I can't be held responsible for that.
Come on, man.
But Rico, I do want you to know that stiff, straight, perpendicular finger did hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry. That one was really meant for Austin.
Why was it so hard? Like, why was it so?
I don't know. It's just some leftover angst from
yesterday. Yeah, Austin was on one.
Wait, so how do you flip people? I know you don't flip people off, but how do
I don't even use my middle finger.
Sphere of influence flip people off?
It's kind of bent. It's very loose. It's not like
one of these?
Yeah, it isn't
like
like that's how he gave it to me. Like
he gave it to you like
Jim Duggan or somebody.
He gave it to you like no nonsense. And he did, I think, it was stuffed in, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yes,
it's bent. It's like this. He gives it the claw hand. See how the
he does it like he does his stupid like 3-point thing too.
Wait, what's your stupid 3-point thing?
Is that your 3-point
Rico?
thing? Oh, I did it wrong. He does.
Do you have big hands for a little guy?
Yeah.
Those are exceptionally long fingers. That's kind of gross. That looked like something I would do my leaves with.
Shout out to high school football, where they didn't throw the football to me.
Better than those Johnny Rogers fingers.
You made your hands bigger?
You seen those jokers?
I have big hands.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I have big hands for high school football.
I don't
didn't get the ball thrown to me. So
who was your quarterback?
Cody King.
Why am I missing that?
What year did you graduate? Like 11?
2012. He's a tall lefty.
Huh.
Yeah, that's kind of in a blind spot for me. I don't really remember.
That's
Cody
a
King.
serious blind spot.
We weren't great, so you probably don't remember us.
That was like right before you guys got pretty good, right?
Feynman passed away. Feynman passed away when I was in college, so it was probably like 2 years before Huffman took over.
I was thinking like 14.
15,
they got pretty
16.
good.
Well, the other school I was at was still playing in state all the time.
No, I know, but like there's
they
multiple good
were
teams
really
at the same
good.
time. I know like 19 was the really
so
good
he
team.
he started to really get it going like 16, 17.
Okay.
It was like, oh shoot, what do we do with this offense?
Like 19 was like the team though, right? That was the juggernaut team.
They were way good.
Okay.
Way good.
But so he didn't take over till 15?
Yeah, they had a stretch where I was still trying to figure out who their best back was. I mean, because they had Bradley Ducker and LJ Richardson.
Yeah, dude, Ducker was good.
Dude, Ducker was sensational.
Ducker was real good.
He has football savant vibes. I'm a huge Ducker fan.
Didn't he go for a K at Northern Illinois?
He went to like 4 schools in a row, and he was their leading rusher every year.
Yeah, it was like Memphis.
Even at Memphis.
Did he end at Memphis?
I think he got one more bag after Memphis. I'm almost positive. I used to follow everything. I was just fascinated by the way he could run.
I was upset that he didn't stay. Him and LJ. I thought LJ could have been good. I don't even know what happened. I know he went to Wyoming, right?
LJ's back here. I just asked about him day before yesterday. LJ is really close with our family. So that's a guy I care about. And Wyoming had called a couple of times to see if they could get him back. Mm-hmm. By the way, we never even shout out my guy Sam Scott, who missed a year of being in the NFL to train a year and go back and then sign with the Jets this year. So
really?
Yes.
I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Sam Scott signed with the Jets.
Interesting.
Hey, Sam Scott this is dumb, but it's me. He's a great hugger.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like you've mentioned that before, like, oh, they give good hugs, whatever.
I think when it's heartfelt,
Sure. Yeah.
We lost, might have been to Bellevue West. No, who'd we lose? His last game at North. He was very emotional.
Yeah.
Yes. I love Sam Scott. But anyway, that I still probably give the slight nod of just being it's tough. Bradley or Ducker? I say Ducker.
Yeah.
But his running backs coach, who's a good buddy of mine, I wonder what he would say. Because he saw them both up close.
So if I believe this is correct, Northern Illinois was freshman year, went for 1,100, almost 1,200.
Yeah.
Memphis sophomore year went for 500.
Yeah.
Was at Memphis another year, but must have got hurt. Only played in a few games.
Yep. There's another one after that.
There's two more. Sam Houston.
Yep.
Where he went for 745.
Yep.
And then Temple, he went for 800. He was at
that's wild.
His lowest yards per carry in any year was 4.7.
Dude, he's good.
He went 5.1 for his career, had 3,300 yards and 24 touchdowns.
He was way good.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he's kind of a football savant. Extremely bright.
Not a very big guy.
No, he was little, which is why people overlooked him.
Yeah.
I would say small. I don't want to. I think sometimes little is offensive. Although I do say little dude, but it's not offensive. It's because
I understand. I'm a small guy.
I think small would bother me more than little. I don't know.
Shane, you're tiny. What would you go with?
Back in the day.
What? What?
Surprise, surprise.
Well, he made me mad when he didn't tell me the show was starting.
Yeah, no, it was just up there, and I was like, "Oh, I guess we're gonna go."
It was how he answered me. Shane, are we starting? Yeah. Like
I didn't even know that we got an answer. I thought he just
that's how he said it. Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
Like, yeah, derelict. How you not know?
Get to the chopper!
Speaking of undersized running backs, TK says, "Can we get Tay some big offers?"
Tay Jenkins.
TK says Tay-Tay's been the best back in the state the past 2 years, and it's not close.
100%.
Yeah, I would agree.
I just call him TJ. T Jenks.
Yeah.
What are the measurables on Tay-Tay?
Tay is about 5'6" and some chump change and about 184.
I say he's built like a pit bull though. Like he's so thick.
He is. Watch. He's on a mission too. We got away from him early in inside run game, and I don't know if it clearly was probably not going to matter. I mean, they were prolific offensively and significantly better, but we left a little meat on the bone.
Yeah,
we left a little meat on the bone, but he's way good. He gives me Calvin Strong vibes. He's as good a running back as I've ever coached.
Yeah,
and there's no question about it. He is Tay-Tay. He is a very gifted runner, and he has my favorite attribute.
What's that?
Balance. He has incredible balance.
I believe, if I don't think this is secret information, I believe he went to one of our guy McClintock's testing camps.
Yeah, he tested through the roof
really, really well.
And it was funny because McClintock didn't know our relationship.
Yeah,
and he said, "Hey, what do you know about Tay Jenkins?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Because I think he wanted to recommend him to some schools.
Yeah, I think he's in the top 5 percentile in testing.
Yeah, he was, and that includes the cool thing about McClintock's deal is it includes height, weight.
Yep.
So like it's
factored in.
That's not just like, oh well, he's fast for a small guy.
No.
It's that the whole thing is
his measurables
is factored in, and he's still. I mean, for being that size and being in the top 5% is crazy.
His ability to accelerate is fantastic. This would be a good year. We have a super tough test out of the gate. So
who do you have first?
Prep.
Oh, that's right.
Who's probably going to be pretty good and built up.
Well, and they're finally old.
Yeah. So
this is that class from a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, this is Breeze's class.
The one that
those guys are good.
They that was like Kalen's senior year where they were all playing super young, right? When they opened up week 0 at Bellevue West.
That's Trapp, Harpster, Cooper Fix,
yeah,
Leslie, Carney. Like those guys are good.
Yeah.
So I think they got 3 of their 5 offensive linemen back. I mean, not that we're scouting them.
you got to keep track.
We got a staff meeting today at 4:30, and I'm so scared. And Coach Simoni's like my guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like stuck on 30th and Newport. Hey, coach, come get me. Be right there type of
yeah.
Type. And I'm afraid to tell him it's Micah's birthday. I'm like, can we just have dinner?
Yeah, you can after the meeting.
So I think he's the type of coach that would say that he missed something of CC and Sophie's when they were growing up. So nobody even goes there.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure he missed a lot for his girls.
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, that happens.
It's like, but it's his birthday dinner. He'd be like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure some other schools wouldn't require you to work as hard. I'd be like, yeah, I'll stay.
He'd be like, I'm sure he'll still be hungry after.
It would be something slick like that. It would be something. What is there, like a magic eating window? Or
I mean, 4:30 is early for dinner anyway.
Nah, Zoe plays at 6 anyway.
Is that so? Is he 16? 17.
Just turned 17.
17. There you go. Well, happy birthday, Micah.
Yeah, no.
We like Micah.
He's skirting pom poms over Maury getting fired.
Happy birthday, big dog.
Should I text him? I'll text him.
You guys can do what you want.
Tell him happy birthday.
I said, hey, what do you want to do for your? What do you want for your birthday? Anything that puts me closer to getting a car. Yeah, that's not fun, Micah. Do you have any others? No, get me a car. All right, bro. Way to be realistic.
Yeah.
Parachute, just normal stuff.
That's always the funny thing to me. We were kind of talking about this with the cell phones with the homeless people the other day.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh man, if you didn't have that cell phone, it's like, that like shoes and car are not the same budget item, right? Like cell phone and apartment are not the same like budgetary concern here.
Yeah.
Like you could beg for $50 a month and probably pay for the cell phone. Begging for like $800 a month to get to an apartment, a little different.
Hey, so you know what this is? I'm not making light. I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah.
So our friend, who's not really our friend, but at the grocery store, the one that's tucked, not grocery store, the gas station, the one that's tucked.
Like up by the side of the building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that that's a Costco shopping cart?
Where do you get that from?
I'm like,
man, he must be doing some traveling.
I mean, it's not. That's kind of far.
That's a long walk.
But that's a long way to just lift a cart.
Well, I'm sure he rolled it. I don't think he lifted it.
I mean, it's a bit that was funny. It's a bigger cart. So
That wasn't. That's what got my attention because he's got it's a pretty elaborate setup.
No, he does. He seems camp. He's like camped out there.
But that's what you need. He was like sitting there and he's probably like, I need more space.
I'm
like, how'd you get
a Costco cart?
Yeah, he needed more room for his stuff. Maybe he like hopped in and had somebody else push it. Maybe he was riding.
Well, the other grocery store that I used to go to, do you know that
the one that closed?
Over time, people walked out with 120 baskets. You know, sometimes you don't want a cart, you just want a basket. And they went like 2 months without baskets. I'm like, I'm like, can I just get a basket? And they're like, yeah, they just get walked out with over time. Well, how does that happen?
I just wouldn't like who even
120 times.
Who even wants that? Like, why do you want a basket? Or do you just forget?
Why do you want a shopping cart?
Well, I mean, if you're homeless, you put your stuff in there.
Maybe they need a carry-all for the basket.
I think the rolling is the appeal of the shopping cart. So you're not carrying stuff all the time.
All right, mind of a transient.
Well, so the way I think about it is like this is ironic actually, but it's like when you're golfing, right? Carrying your bag versus having one of the pull carts is like way different in terms of fatigue.
Yeah.
So the shopping cart is the pull cart of being homeless, or push cart.
Incredible off the fly.
That's how I would assume. I don't think you want to be carrying the basket. Also, like you're not fitting a lot of your stuff in the basket. You know what I mean?
You never know.
I mean, the basket's only so big. You're only fitting so much stuff in there. The shopping cart, I put
$80 worth of groceries in a basket before.
Yeah, that's like 3 items though.
Yeah, lug that basket around everywhere.
So I'm saying you want to be able to
especially
roll
if you are unhoused, then you got to have all your stuff in the basket. That's a tough one.
Is that the 2026 term?
I think so. I heard it once.
I think we should go with that.
With unhoused.
Yeah, well, you said homeless rubs me kind of the wrong way because we weren't supposed to say that at the shelter.
I mean, I don't think it's derogatory.
I'm not sure you should be the judge.
That's fair. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
1 of 3.
He said those baskets are small as hell. They're not that small.
They are pretty small. I mean, here's the other thing that I think about with the shopping cart. It's something to lean on, you know? Like if they're up and about all the time, you're not leaning on a basket, right? But you can lean on the shopping cart if you need to rest a little bit.
They're mostly turned upside down, though, unless they're moving.
Yeah, that's because, again, you can lean on it when it's upside down still.
Maybe somebody's not going to take your cart compared to.
That's true.
I don't want to just be the guy that takes pictures, but I'm going to show you the setup.
I see him. I see him when I go over there.
Okay.
I know who you're talking. I know exactly what you're talking. It seems like
you going to peek around the corner because I park on the side.
No, I come around. I come in that way.
I know that's the way you were backing out to almost to get back on the 108th.
Yeah, so like I
was like, hey.
I see him on the way in because I turned that direction.
You know, I gave you a stare and you never even remotely
Never saw
looked
you.
back.
Never saw you.
Not even a glance of nothing.
You must have hit my blind spot.
Well, you were situating stuff.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was very un-Ravinian because usually your seatbelt.
Oh, seatbelt was on. Seatbelt's always
adjusted
on.
mirror.
Well, I wouldn't have to adjust the mirror. Nobody else drives my car.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, like, they're always in the right spot.
I have visions of the rental.
Well, it's the rental. That's not my car. I got to adjust everything.
Well, that's the last time I saw you get situated in a vehicle. So how you like them apples?
I like apples. Apples are good.
That's fine. Rico, what did you think of the game last night? You want my shower thoughts?
Go ahead.
This is not that deep.
I need to make a graphic for this.
No, this isn't like one of those. Normally they're pretty cool, and I need like help solving the world's problems with and save the whole dizziness one. That was not a great one. It was just something I felt like sharing that morning.
Yeah.
Was not a safe spot with you.
That's not true. It's always safe here.
So I noticed like this whole Creighton, Nebraska thing. Remember like when Creighton was winning all these and we were quoting the stats and, it was 12 out of the last 14 or whatever. And Nebraska couldn't win midweeks and it meant more to Creighton. You know what it's not? You know what I'm beginning to see now that Nebraska has kind of swung the pendulum?
Mm-hmm.
It's not really as beneficial to Nebraska. Like we don't say, ooh, Nebraska's, they own Creighton. You know what I mean? Like we don't say anything like that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's weird.
So I think there's a couple things there. So part of it is I think we expect Nebraska to be better.
So the anti-basketball.
Yes. I think we expect Nebraska to be better at baseball.
Yeah,
especially
that's funny too. I probably agree with you because when Nebraska would occasionally beat Creighton and Creighton was better, it was like,
well, yeah,
it was this huge deal. I'm talking about in basketball.
Oh, in basketball, yes.
It was like this huge deal, even though it would maybe be like only one out of the 6 or 7 or something like that. We'd make a big
Yeah, I think people just expect Nebraska baseball to be better. And even though we haven't been enamored with some of the baseball results over the last 15 years.
And Nebraska hasn't hosted a regional since 08.
Yeah, they've still been better than Creighton. Like Creighton has really struggled throughout that time frame for the most part as well. So they've had a couple one-off good seasons like Nebraska has in 2021 for Nebraska. But
is that the famous winning the Big East tournament?
Yes. Like they just went through this huge stretch where they just could not win the Big East tournament. And the Big East is bad for them. Like there's 1 or 2 good teams a year in the Big East. And good is relative, right? So you're not dealing with. I understand the Big Ten is not a baseball juggernaut, although it's better now that you've got some of the West Coast teams in there.
Yeah, but
I think it's clearly better than you've had really good Michigan teams in that run. You had really good Indiana teams in that stretch. There just isn't, I don't think, a comparison between the Big East is one of the worst conferences in baseball. They just are. They're basically like Horizon League baseball if you're going basketball.
I mean, a one-bid baseball league and a major basketball conference is probably not good.
No. I mean, it's not just it's the investment in it too. Recently they've started to get a little better.
You see some of the facilities. I'll watch them on.
Dude, half these teams are playing at city parks. Legitimately, I'm not. That's not an exaggeration.
Come on, man. I sleep and eat that stuff.
I know.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know that everyone is aware that literally you go out to I think Seton Hall, and it's one of the East Coast ones. I think it's Seton Hall. You're playing in a city park.
Yeah.
And they hosted a Big East tournament there, in a city park, basically. And they're like, oh, we got to be out of here by a certain time. They turn the lights off.
It's just when Nebraska, they're winning, and it's oh yeah, they won. But if they lost, it would be up in arms.
Yeah.
Right. That low risk, that low reward, high risk thing is crazy in sports.
It is. I mean, it's
we don't like
to just canceled it to save your RPI.
Honestly,
I'm not that bent out of shape.
Nebraska actually kind of needed that because Creighton is still a top 90 RPI despite not being incredible this year. And with the way they got swept a couple weekends ago, they needed. a top 100 RPI game was still like relatively important for them. I think.
And listen, it's not like, remember, I'm famously the guy that has forever since I sat behind a microphone hated RPI.
Mm-hmm.
I've called it, and for this isn't like a 3 or 4 year thing, but I will say this: I do think baseball was the one in which it was the most relative for the longest. It certainly needs either to go away or revamping, but relative, it was more relevant for baseball than I thought basketball, because basketball had more new cutting edge things. You know, we haven't had KPI for baseball for long enough for it to really.
But there's been a bunch of advancements in metrics for basketball. So RPI was like, what are we still doing here?
Yeah. And so it was easy for me to poke holes.
Whether it's like Ken Palm
and in baseball's
Bartovic
defense with RPI, the more metrics we're getting, that because you need a little time to see. Yeah.
You need your sample size a little bit.
Yeah,
bigger.
you need a longer sample size.
Yeah,
so I'm not
that mad about RPI. Like I think it's still relatively effective. It's not perfect,
the part of the RPI that I don't like is I don't really care where you play the game. I don't think that's as important anymore. I get the opponent's strength of schedule, your strength of schedule, but where the game is played is not. I don't know.
For baseball specifically? Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I don't know if I care at all. We just went through, like, off the cuff on a random humbug talking about, like, where does it still matter in sports where you actually play the event? Like, who has home, like, where does home field matter?
Yeah.
Or home court or home ice?
I think there are certain situations. I don't think it's universal enough to include it in metrics. Like going to, like, if you were to come to Nebraska to win a volleyball match, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Than almost everywhere else in the country, right? So like that obviously matters, but it's a very, to me, like case by case basis.
That's pretty finite.
Right. Yeah. Like I don't think it's widespread enough to be able to just blanket, hey, you get extra points for doing this on the road, as opposed to, and I don't, you probably shouldn't even include it in maybe if it's like a very, very small, like top 10 road game or something like that, you maybe include that just to give a little extra juice there. But the only one that I would say, and I don't think it's a crowd thing so much as it is an officiating thing, I will say in college.
We talked about this being swayed in basketball.
In college basketball, yeah, I do think it matters. Like anecdotally.
Yeah, but there are so many stinking upsets.
There are, but like anecdotally, you can see it happen.
Like, give me a place where, I mean, maybe Cameron. Like, where's the?
I mean, I've seen
like
it,
where there are places.
I've seen it happen at Gonzaga, where like teams will.
Where I'm saying, no, hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Where are there places where you go and you win there? I mean, apparently, the Pavilion and UCLA this year, because they were, a juggernaut there. But
yeah,
everywhere else, it's totally sarcastic. Their home winning streak there, or their home record there was. I'm like, nobody's even going. How's that? How's that translating? Is it just because they're playing bad teams? No, anyway, that's your guy, Mick Cronin. Like how there are a handful of arenas where you win there, and you're like, ooh, like they won it, Paulie. They won it.
That's how it used to be with the.
How many are there though?
Probably
4 or 5.
I think.
Just basketball?
Winning in Cameron is always going to be tough.
Yeah, I think it's relative. I mean,
but they don't lose a ton anyway.
Yeah, I think it's relative.
I mean, is Florida a house of horrors? We don't even know what their arena's called.
There's a few.
Was that a laugh? Who did that? Was that Austin or Shane?
No, Shane.
I think I was Austin.
Shane, that was funny too,
Shane just went.
The rack for how bad Rutgers is normally is usually that's a place where people say it's pretty
they're
tough to
bad
play.
now. And Nebraska hasn't been, even though Nebraska is really good at PBA, they're not good enough nationally where they get the such and such won at PBA.
Yeah.
Now it has been rare.
Yes.
But it doesn't
But they don't get the run.
It doesn't get the run.
Is that Michigan State's arena? I don't know what it is.
Is that Chrysler? No. We were just there.
No, isn't that? I thought Michigan.
It's not Chrysler.
Michigan
That's
was
Michigan.
Chrysler, yeah.
So maybe Purdue.
Off the top,
B-Mac and I walked that before on the Friday to go watch.
Their crowd is fun.
off the top of my head, I don't know. So San Diego State used to be really hard to win at. I'm on Mountain West for some reason. New Mexico was really like the pit was really hard to win at.
My point is I just think
like Cintas,
like where you play the game is.
Again, I think there's examples of where it is, but it's not universal enough to make it a metric. I would agree with that. Like there was a few House of Horrors in the Big East for a while. Like Cintas, Xavier was really hard to beat at home. Depending on if Villanova was playing at the Pavilion or what is it, Finneran Pavilion versus at the Sixer Stadium, like that was a big difference. St. John's playing at Carneseca versus MSG is a big difference.
Was a big deal. I mean, you saw how much it mattered for Philly. You got Embiid like. We need our fans. Fill the seats.
It's bigger than you.
It was like it was like a Madison Square Garden takeover. It's like,
as is tradition.
Oh Lord, it ain't like going to Atlanta and taking over their arena.
You want to say the Knicks prayer with me?
No. So at one point during the Hawks game, I don't know if I told you this, Rico, in our group chat, I go, what did I say? I said, whose home game is this?
Yeah.
Every made basket sounded the same. Didn't matter who made the shot. It was like
sounded like a Sweet 16 game at a neutral site.
How many flipping Knicks fans have been, or transported to the ATL? It sounded the same every time there was a made bucket. It was just loud.
The ATL is a very transient community.
No, I get that. I get that, and they suck too. But like, you shouldn't be doing that at Philly.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I don't know. I think the Philly fans have been weird with these Sixers teams the last couple of years, right? Like, obviously, Morey just gets let go yesterday, but it's been a super, like, it doesn't seem like they love these teams.
Yeah.
It seems like the most they've enjoyed a Sixers team was this year when Embiid wasn't playing, when it was just Edgecombe and Maxey just going wild.
Yep.
And like, I think they're over the Embiid thing, which I would understand. He's not that fun to watch. I get he's really good when he's healthy, but he's not that fun to watch. Like, he's a very plodding, type. He has to be. He can't move anymore. And I think they just rather enjoy.
I know we lost. I'm just happy to get through here and be there at this point.
Like,
they're a better team without him.
He said that like he was 76 getting to see his grandkids flourish. like that was like, you're still good enough to not be thinking like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to go.
I'm not an Embiid guy. I never have been. So I don't have. I'm not going to argue with you against the Embiid like hatred because I've never been a big fan.
So the NCAA issues a statement. Hey, we see what you're doing with canceling games in the RPI. And I was like, I mean, I guess just make it so if you play a game and you win, you don't drop.
Yeah.
Right? Like
that's the part that not only baseball, this happens in basketball too.
But I do think sometimes you're like overly paranoid though. If you're Boston, like play the goddamn game.
I sort of get it in baseball.
Because you don't want to waste arms on UMass Lowell. My favorite parking attendant at Nebraska's name's Lowell. So he's the GOAT.
Is that the guy with the German Shepherd or no?
That's Baby Santa Claus. He's the older guy with the big gray beard.
So you could pet the German Shepherd?
No, that's the actual officer.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I pet that dog?
The guy with the canine unit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it took me 2 years, I told you, to build up the courage.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to say, Shane.
Can I pet that dog?
Not with the twang, but I was like, hey.
Majority of the people that are here, they just want me to say, can I pet that dog?
Wow. She's like a real person? What'd she do? Was she doing like a town hall sit down?
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
No.
Can I pet that dog?
So like, I don't know. Like the arms thing is real though.
The arms thing is real.
But you know what I wish people would make it about and then I could see it?
What's that?
Like it's expensive.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I get it.
It's expensive. Especially to travel.
So I was thinking about the arms and I was thinking about, I think with baseball, there's Maybe not. Yeah, maybe. There's
Kobe is flat out. I'm just
You
going.
can't say that word.
Kobe says whatever the heck he wants to.
Apparently so.
It's the internet. You can say whatever.
I don't even know if I put that in the top 5 most. Now that's an ugly word.
Yeah,
but it's not top 5 most offensive things that's been said on this pod.
Not most offensive. It is a word that I don't enjoy saying. Like that's a word I usually don't say.
Unfortunately, that word has been said on this show.
Yeah, by that guy.
Who said it?
Austin.
Oh,
I was telling a story and I asked for permission.
I did not think that was the word you were going to say.
That is not the word anybody thought he was going to say.
Was in Lincoln? Was I in Lincoln?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So
he was telling a story about getting knocked out cold in high school football.
Yeah, AJ.
Or about knocking somebody else cold? No, somebody.
Oh, God, no. I got knocked out. Yeah. Come on, let's get this right.
He said, "Oh God, no! I'm not bringing any sort of wood."
All-state honorable mention. So you got.
I do bring wood, just not on the football field.
I'm more of a sausage guy, though.
Like to follow Rico's footsteps in that case.
I don't know why you keep talking about me.
He's got to. You're not even in your prime for dudes, but you rev exceptionally. Next gen will never see you. All you talk about is that.
I honestly think Austin just keeps talking.
Another 8 years. That's terrifying.
I think Austin just keeps talking about it because he ain't getting none.
Oh, wow. The booby part sounds way better, though.
Shots fired. How about my man, just Mr. Rico Casanova Suave Cool Austin? He's at the hotel pool from Dr. Fiance's vantage point. He's doing a goofy breaststroke, and phone's gonna be on D&D. I was like, that ain't game. That's weak sauce.
He's still texting us. That's all I know. Is he still was texting us?
Oh, don't bother me when I'm at the hotel.
No, maybe we'll have to address that in marriage counseling, Austin.
I think he's got. I mean, I could say, hey man, the way that tree is trimmed, I can't believe those pine cones have a chance. And Austin could stop.
Shocked you didn't say bush.
See. There you go.
He's got it locked and loaded every time.
It's uncanny.
It's actually pretty impressive.
It is. It is impressive. It's a skill set,
Yeah. Hey, Juan, what'd you go with at the concessions last night?
You see Jay Saudi's comment?
Listen, Sadie's I'm telling, don't get that guy started. He's naughty too. He's naughty too.
You should look at Headley's comment.
I'm terrified sometimes because he came back with a vengeance. He was laying in the cut for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
remember? I said a couple
key.
of funny things. I said a couple of nice things about some other funny guys, and Headley was like, "Yeah, hold my beer." I have to. I can't even. Ron Burgundy, that guy. We're probably done.
Dang. So, okay. So, Adam just texted me. McClintock, we were talking about Tate earlier.
Yeah.
So, he's still 79th overall in terms of athleticism score. Do you want to guess how many male athletes they've tested?
God, they do youngins too. I'm going to say they just got started, 3 years ago?
3 years ago, I think.
I will say 79th out of 6,000?
11,000.
Jesus.
79th out of 11,000. We didn't do him a lot of credit with the 5%. That's like 0.5%.
I don't even know if ask AMAC if he knew then, because that was last year he sent that to me.
Yeah, that was about this time. That's the top percent that he's in. 0.007.
Hey, he's in the top 1%.
He's in the top. I believe he's in the top 0.7 of top 0.7%.
Look, Darren Sproles was a small guy.
He's got Sproles. Here's a lot of Sproles to him.
There's some Sprolesian.
The balance, he can put his hand on the dirt, his ability to accelerate.
Is he squatting 10,000 pounds like Darren Sproles was?
When he applies himself, and I may have to send him this clip, he is a fantastic lifter. but he still flirts with wanting to wear pajama bottoms, and that's a no-no. He's still a little bit of that. He's a little squirrely.
Come on, man.
But he's good-natured, so he's hard to get mad at.
I need you to get on that Mo Purify lifting game, all right?
And he's a big snack guy.
Yeah.
Like, he could eat probably 18, 19 Rice Krispie treats. I mean, he will leave a garbage can full of fruit snacks.
He's got to keep that weight on, man.
Look, as long as you get the workout in and you get the lift in, it's all good.
I call him snacks. I mean,
yes, Kobe Sproles was jacked. So was Tay-Tay. That's the point.
Yeah. Yeah, Tay-Tay. Tay-Tay's
no, I'm
good.
seriously. He looks like one of those.
He's yoked.
He looks like one of those little pit bulls. You know, and the ones that you see on the, they're like, hey, what did you GMO that pit bull for? Like, what's happening? Why is he looking like that?
Yeah, and you're starting to see this more with 7-on-7 and like year-round training. Guys are giving up their second and third sports earlier.
Yeah.
Tay-Tay's one of those guys that quit playing basketball and, right after 8th grade.
I'm conflicted.
I am too, because I look at a guy like Micah and I'm like, it'd be nice if you were still hooping.
No, I think that multi-sport.
But then I looked at Caleb and I was like, stop hooping.
Yeah. You're like, hey, stop doing that.
And he was actually good.
Start working out.
Yeah. I asked this idiot Sunday, like, we do the what would you told your.
Yeah.
And he always gives me something philosophically. I said, okay, enough of this.
Yeah, give something practical.
Like physically, what would soon to be 21-year-old have told 16-year-old? He said, I don't know. Maybe work out more. Yeah, okay, bud. Yeah, all right. That's fine. But I got to go back to baseball because, Rico, the more that it turns into low reward, high risk, the less apt you're gonna. But we've talked about wanting to do this series. Hey, is it 3 times a year? Is it 2 times a year? Do we rotate the sites? Do we try to schedule the non-con and do a 3-game set of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like regular in-season baseball? I mean, you're going to reach a point of diminishing returns.
You are. I think the key part of this, even if perception is one thing, I think the key part of this is that Creighton has to stay within a certain level of competitiveness in terms of.
Don't you think it's too soon to be talking about? I get what you're saying, but I mean, it's first year Coach Kingston.
Oh yeah, it is. It's too early to be talking about that specifically. But I mean, if Creighton starts falling out of like the top 150 consistently, then we're having a different conversation because just off the top here, like you get to basically Creighton hits you as a middle of the pack Big Ten team.
Hey, Kobe, what'd you think of my guy Caleb Clark's third of an inning?
My dog.
He kills me over Caleb Clark.
Like you're a middle of the pack Big Ten team when you're playing Creighton. So that's viable.
That's his favorite, Scott. That's his favorite.
What, snack?
With the Free Pebbles.
Oh.
Because they make those now.
Yeah.
And by the way, you know why we're obese as a country? You know what you can buy in bags now?
What's that?
Like big bags? Cereal. And I don't mean the cheap cereal that they used to give to poor people because fat is cheap. I mean like name brand Post Kellogg's cereal.
Yeah.
Is that really necessary?
I mean, if you guys made kids as Rico, you got to feed them somehow.
I'm sorry to laugh because I think that's one of the.
Are your kids cereal eaters?
Listen,
what the fuck did I do to you guys?
Ate better you than me.
Listen, I don't mean to laugh. That was, I don't know. I don't like that word, but that was kind of funny.
All right. So Rico, let me tell you. Let me tell you what happened for me at least. All right. In passing, this is a month ago, I think. In passing.
No, this joke's been longer than this.
I know, but
because he went ham and he was like, I got one less kid than Damon. And you're like, well, he's 50-something years. And I was like, hey.
It really dialed up the last month. And it's because, and he knows exactly why. I told him this was going to happen. He goes, we had made some joke. It might have been the rant that he was talking about with the number of kids with you or whatever. It was about a month ago. And he goes, he's talking to the wife or whatever. And she goes like, hey, try not to bring up our sex life anymore. And I was like, if she had never said anything, I probably would have never thought of it again. And now it's like, I'm just petty now. And it's like, literally your wife cannot stop me from talking about anything that I want to on the show. And so I'm a child and defiant. And so I told you it was going to happen. I told you.
I love the self-awareness.
I know. I'm not going to change, but I'm aware.
Super defiant.
Yeah. So listen.
You make me look easygoing, and that isn't true.
Now that you seem to have reached a breaking point, I personally will stop because I feel like I've made my point. I can't control the other two.
No, don't throw me in, and I defend Rico.
I can't control Austin, but I feel like my point has been made, and I will lay off.
Austin might be one. Austin might be one of those.
I told you what was going to happen, didn't I? I told you.
Kind of like a guard.
Yeah, but I thought you'd be a good person. I mean, that was my first mistake.
No.
Yeah, that was my first mistake. No. I thought you'd be a friend.
I'm an off-air friend.
Dude, he's single-handedly trying to ruin our group chat, which was supposed to be for business purposes.
No, that was just the one time. You're the one that sent some weird equalizer clip yesterday. Did you send that through long chat?
Yeah, what? No. Why did I send that?
It's not even in English. We can't play that. Most of it's in Italian.
You're not supposed to read the words. You're supposed to hear what he's. Oh, I sent it because he says the part that I said was one of my favorite lines, and I wanted to put that in the system about your men. They're too close to me. They're gonna die, and they don't even know it yet. And then he goes 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had me confused. Like
you had us confused. You gave zero context.
See, I hate how people try to do this. They may have been confused, but let them say it. Don't be the dude that says, "Well, we all," or who's we?
Did you?
Damon, I was confused.
I knew what that dude was going to say.
I was just at Westside Soccer trying to understand what this DB TikTok was.
I was like, why is this Italian equalizer on my page right now?
Okay. We're just going to flame the thing, huh?
I was confused because the first one made sense that you sent, and I was like, okay. And you've been very strict about this chat is for business purposes only.
I don't want to be like that. I'm gonna say, like, when I send something, anybody, like, listen, I'm not gatekeeping the chat. I'm just saying, like, I'll just note if it's for business, so they know to kind of maybe have it in the
you
queue.
said if there's no commentary, then it's for business.
Yeah, and so, like, you can be goofy.
And mine had commentary on it, so I thought we were cool.
Yeah, we're cool. I'll eat
but
that.
Rico, I'm tapping out. Rico, I'm good.
Rico,
I feel like my point's been made. I can't speak for anybody else.
Listen,
Rachel insulted you.
What
she's listening. She said you're the old boss of Omaha.
The old boss
of Omaha.
Oh,
my old boss
in Omaha.
Oh,
I'm the Omaha version of that.
Oh,
she knows that's not true. She just knows that's a trigger point.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fine.
By the way,
I mean, he said he'd always take you back if you want to try that again.
Hey, we have.
I'm good.
Hey, Suave, we have a mutual that I used to play with. He may go in. I'll tell you why after during the break.
I love it.
I'm floored that it took him this long to get pissed. But you know he's nuts.
I was gonna say I'm not floored, but if you meant it took him that long, then yes.
Yeah. So anyway, can I get back to the baseball thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I love baseball.
Are we cool with midweeks now?
What do you mean?
Because I don't want to keep having this conversation as these games get canceled. It's going to get worse next year because now people will know how to game the system. I assume when you get like Kyle Peterson and my man Eric Soren, when people are starting, when baseball guys, by the way, did we get fit?
Yeah, we got fit.
Yeah,
9.
that's right. 9.
Aaron Fit doing baseball at 9:00.
I don't want to like beat this thing into existence. Like, is this a thing that we're upset about? Are we really upset, or are we just?
I don't care.
Okay, because I really don't either.
It doesn't bother me. Like it doesn't move the needle for me at all. Like you're going to. I'm hoping, and I know this is probably a little bit too idealistic of me, but I'm hoping it will just cause them to start scheduling better midweek games so they don't feel like they have to cancel.
I don't think that's going to be the code. I don't think if you're a coach, is that your natural reaction? Hey, let's schedule tougher midweeks.
I mean, if you're really concerned about RPI, that'd be the solution.
No, I think it's got to happen in the non-con.
What's that?
I think it's got to happen in the non-con.
I mean, that's fine.
Nobody's chomping at the bit for tougher.
So
midweeks.
you're just not playing midweeks then? You're just getting rid of them? Because I don't know how. If it's me, I wouldn't want my guys not to play for basically a week. I would want.
And they don't either.
Right. So you sort of have to play some midweeks at least, I would think.
Maybe we need Coach Sanders back at Nebraska, where he would just call up a team just to play a midweek because they had an open spot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't. The canceling of it doesn't really move the needle for me. If you think that's what's best for your team, we're the same. Like, this happened a few years ago I think it was during the COVID stuff, where Xavier was canceling games against Creighton to make the Big East tournament. Like, that was incredibly shady. Yeah. Canceling conference games for.
We saw Purdue try to get into the conference tournament
Purdue
against
did the
Nebraska.
same thing with Nebraska by not. Oh, we can't find an open date for the rain out. Sorry, guys. Like, that bothers me.
Yeah, do you not have tarp?
But no, oh no, we forgot to roll the tarp out. Shoot, it rained last night. Yeah. There's that stuff bothers me because I think it's pretty deceptive. But if it's a midweek non-con game, I don't know, who cares? I feel like that does, to me, I think it does you as much harm in terms of, if you're gonna do it regularly, one-offs, it's whatever. But if you're going to do it regularly, I think it does you as much harm by just not playing baseball for a week as it does good by saving the arms.
Yeah. So, Rico, you're all things Nebraska with sports. Nebraska's your favorite college baseball team?
I don't think I really have a favorite college baseball team.
Do you?
Yes, you're not going to like it, though.
I don't.
Is it Florida State?
It is Florida State.
It's always Florida State.
Oh, I knew that. That's dumb.
Marshall McDougal. Marshall McDougal.
I'm not mad at you for that. I guess I know what you do is dumb, and I still love you.
That's true. I guess for me, there's 4 teams that I just love that come to Omaha, and it's Texas, LSU, South Carolina, and Florida State.
God dang it, Rico.
The Texas is tough, man.
I know, but so the only reason
I do like LSU though too.
I want to embrace him. Put him on my lap.
It's not to root for Texas. The only reason I like Texas here.
Something stupid.
The only reason I like Texas here is because the people, like the fans in the parking lot, are really nice and they'll share their barbecue with you.
Of course. It's all about the nice guy, Rico. Everybody loves Rico. They're so nice to me. And don't let me fool you. I embrace that too. I usually rock with people that are
That's
nice
why I
to
like
me.
a lot of the LSU fans.
But this is very easy for me to be condescending about because the teams that you just lumped in there because they're fun can pound sand. You can't rock with the.
You out on LSU too?
Yes.
Why are you out on LSU?
I don't like anyone that I think can directly be a detriment to what Nebraska is trying to do.
And you think LSU baseball is that?
I think LSU anything.
Okay.
I think LSU anything. They're this new age. Are we a good program? Are we not? Are we lucked into a title with Go Tigers? And you coming off the heels of Saban, you fired a 2-time coach of the year. Is LSU? I don't want them in the discussion. I'm trying to. I'm one of those guys, Rico. I don't like to change the invite list. I just set parameters of the dress code. I'm trying to narrow this thing down.
So I will say, in somewhat Rico's defense here.
Did you hear the teams that he named?
So it's Florida
Doesn't
State,
even make any
LSU, Texas.
sense.
Who was the fourth one?
South Carolina.
I don't mind South Carolina.
I'm a big Rob DeBoer guy. I rock with South Carolina because I got a good buddy that he's a little older than me that I like that played at South Carolina. That's it.
I just think it's funny when you see a bunch of grown men walking around with I Heart Cock shirts.
That is funny.
I try to separate him from Austin, but he just pulls himself. That's a very Austonian thing.
So this might be very strange for whatever reason in my mind. And this doesn't include Texas because I hate Texas and everything. But in my mind, I sort of separate college baseball from everything else, and I don't know why. Emotionally, it doesn't connect. LSU, I get what you're saying about LSU. And I hate Will Wade. But LSU baseball feels like a different thing to me than the rest of the university. South Carolina baseball feels like a totally different thing to me than like Frank Martin's Final Four team. Like, I don't know why. Just in my head, college baseball.
I could see that
feels
because
different.
everybody thought Mississippi State was like fun, right?
Yeah, they were great.
Going to the Noble, you know.
The Mississippi State fans were a ton of fun.
That's interesting. Is
It
college
might be
baseball
like
different?
It might be a growing up in Omaha thing where like you just experience these
I'm
teams.
significantly more passionate about Carolina baseball than I am football, but it's because I have my
you have
football
Nebraska football. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. So like I don't know if it's like a growing up around the different fan bases and stuff, and that's just you kind of grow an attachment to some of the schools. But I feel way differently about college baseball teams, even in the SEC. Like, I don't hate SEC baseball the way I do basketball and football. It really doesn't bother me. Like, it really doesn't at all. And I don't know what that is, but I think as you're describing this, I'm realizing it for kind of the first time. Like, I feel very differently about baseball, college baseball teams than I do the rest of college sports. It just feels like a whole separate entity to me.
It just killed my whole point. I was going to validate Rico.
I'm sorry, DB.
It just threw me for a curveball. I was going to say earlier, like with Austin, I kind of know. I know exactly what I'm getting. And I was going to say, like, if Austin's your yard dog, like sometimes you just got to understand you got to let him off the leash.
Yeah.
Like that's just
sometimes he's going to bite.
Not you though, Rico. We got to keep like, we got to put you back in the bubble wrap.
I never bite. I just poop on your porch.
Somehow that's worse.
It's just uncanny. You literally can't take him anywhere.
I think that was a reference to me. I think the poop on the porch was a
Yeah, I know.
From my meltdown.
The whole Frost meltdown.
Yeah.
Yes. That's good. Wow.
Let's take a quick break here. We've got Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7, coming up next.
Yeah, Ricky's only a sophomore. It's his first year on varsity. He started off the year not as a starter, and through injuries and things like that, he's stepped into that role, and he's down the line been one of our most phenomenal players this season. And so I don't think he has scored yet, and so I think that was his first goal of the year and a left footer to boot, and he just wrapped his foot around it, curled it into the side netting, and from there on, that gave us the result. So super proud of his effort and just again his drive and determination.
You had peppered their goalkeeper time and again. I think you had 24 shots on goal today. And what'd he do against you guys?
Yeah, keeper played great. Tipped, I think, 2 off the bar. The shot keeper on the scoreboard is kind of a blessing and a curse because you kind of can see how you're doing during the match. It gives you a gauge. Today, again, we were, it was heavily in our favor. So, like I said, I felt like we had controlled the match and put us in a good position to win. So.
Coach, how does it feel? It's been over 12 years since your team got this state tournament win, and now this is the team that does it. How does it feel just coming off the field?
Obviously pretty incredible. That was a great effort from a great group of kids. And so this group has been working really hard since they were freshmen, and I'm incredibly proud that they got us to this point.
What was the difference maker for your team coming into this state tournament that was different than years past?
I just think the experience of being here, it's a big stage. The field's big. The emotions are just different because for a lot of these seniors, it could be their very last. And so I don't think all kids understand what it actually means until you're here on this field. So we've had a ton of different experiences down here, losing in a shootout and kind of not showing up and now showing up. And so this one feels way better than the last couple. So yeah, I'm just proud of them for showing up tonight.
How does your team play with so much confidence? I mean, it showed in the scoreboard, but it was apparent very early.
I just think they trust one another. You know, we've talked a lot all year long that this group's pretty selfless. Anyone can step up at any given time and they don't really care who it is. And they just celebrate one another when it does happen. So I just think they trust each other and just have fun.
I think it's very genuine when we get to play a rival like them. Players get up for the game, and we seem to catch them at the right time at state. So they're an unbelievable program with great players, but we just had a little bit more in us today than they did.
You've been on the rise the past couple weeks. You told me last week you felt you had this team all along.
Yeah, it was kind of last year. The system we implement kind of takes a month or so. March is always rough to get going and try to get the players' personalities out of them and try to get on the same page. But we just kind of seemed to hit a groove sometime in mid-April, and I just felt confident after that.
How about the game Miles played tonight?
What an effort he had. I mean, just like Central. I mean, 2 goals, could have had another one maybe. He is, and probably choose my words properly, he's the ultimate warrior right now.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Here is Husker 24/7 senior writer Brian Christopherson.
Yeah, you got guys and walking into Ace Hardware without their shirts on.
Brian Christopherson.
We got a pretty good sewing circle in this state.
Brian Christopherson.
To me, it's like crunch time, baby.
Here is Brian Christopherson.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, what's going on, buddy? How we doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're good. I'm just trying to. I feel like I want to gatekeep sports, and everybody has their own little quirks and nuances, and they're letting themselves off the hook by saying it's just different with college baseball. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I still think we equate college baseball with the College World Series, which just means fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am more about the baseball. So we don't agree, but that's nothing new for this show, BC. It's just kind of what we do.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to have the give and take. That's what makes you guys successful, right?
Are you a college baseball guy? I get Bruntz does. That's what he does for you guys. But is that your thing?
Not near as deep as Bronze. I am a Omaha native, so I have the CWS like history and a joy and appreciation for that event whenever we get within like a week of it built up in me since I was little. So I would guess I'm a half and half. I don't follow the rhythms of the season as well as Bronze or some people around here, and I really appreciate that those people do. But when it gets to about this time of year, I start to figure out what's what. Sort of like I am with the NBA playoffs, to be honest.
Okay, so I won't give you your thoughts on the 76ers shaking up their front office. I'll carry on.
No, BC, we were talking about kind of sort of the Nebraska versus Creighton thing and how some of these midweek games are getting canceled by teams and things like that. And it was just really interesting. I think it applies across sports. You know, we see certain home and homes getting canceled in football and that we get a lot of talk about the non-conference schedule in basketball and what the matchup can actually do for a particular team in that given sport. How much do you care about that in terms of, I mean, we can do it in football terms, you know, obviously you've got some of I think it was the Tennessee series that got canceled with Nebraska and people were kind of up in arms about it. Like, how much do you care about, hey, this is good for this team? And does it change based on where you think that team is sort of in their trajectory of building a program?
I think baseball can be in a tough spot because these games do mean a lot to the fans. I mean, when Nebraska and Creighton play each other in anything, people care about it. And yet it's understood. Like I heard, the CU coach during the game doing an interview, like they've got a weekend series that they got to handle their business coming up this weekend. Like that's got to be first and foremost on their minds. And there have been other times within this series over the last decade when maybe Nebraska's pitching depth wasn't quite where they wanted it yet, but you have to save your arms for that Big Ten series that's upcoming. And so it's sort of this unfortunate kind of give and pull between like it is meaningful. It does shape the conversation, like how you do in these in-state games. And yet you understand that both teams might have a different strategy for that particular game because of their big picture circumstance for the season and what they really need to handle. And I think around college baseball, and obviously others could speak on this better than I, but there is that challenge with the midweek stuff sometimes. I mean, someone would say, well, build up your pitching depth and then you can handle it, but it's not always that simple. And so it is an interesting scenario. And I know that a lot of teams across college baseball this year, a lot of really good programs had their struggles or dogfights on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights within the season. And so it's sort of an interesting part about baseball. I'm not sure exactly how I'd connect it with football. With the non-con stuff, I am obviously like everybody who loves to see those powerhouse games when you can get like one a year with this conference playing this team in the other conference. I also understand completely for the Nebraska-Tennessee situation why they did what they did, especially with the stadium renovation going on. It makes all the sense in the world to me. And so until they have a system in place with the college football playoff where either you're just recognizing conference play and like how you did within that, I don't think we're going to see as many of these great September matchups between teams from other conferences. It has to be a deal where people feel like they're not going to get penalized for playing those games, and there's some benefit toward building up their team toward the conference stuff to play those marquee non-con games.
BC, let me ask you something. Kind of on the heels of that with the conference versus non-con and the scheduling, there was the 2-3 year, 4, 5, just the window where we argued and debated conference games, the 9 versus 8, and the SEC doesn't do this. And then the SEC finally came around. And it had to have been numbers driven, right? That they're seeing the payout differences. It is astronomical. It may actually widen, if you can believe that, in the next 3 or 4 years between the Big Ten and the SEC. Do you look at that do you think they look at that as too little too late, or you think they'll just continue to try to play the catch-up game? That's a lot of money to get back, but I'm a little surprised they didn't understand actual inventory.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to play out. I was sort of a fan. This is kind of taking it a different direction, but of, when there were all these like college football playoff theories, what do you want to do? I actually was sort of behind the proposal that was floating out there, where you would have, like, for instance, 6 Big Ten teams are basically in it, and 3 plays 6 the one week, 4 plays 5 in the conference standings. And the reason I was sort of behind that, or something like that, is because I feel like the SEC has always been able to navigate this exactly where they want it to go, because no matter what the results are at the end of the season, even when the Big Ten comes out on top, it always feels like to me, and maybe this is because I'm a Big Ten walk now, I don't know, but by the time we get to like late October or November, the talking heads have convinced or are really running that narrative strong, and it's convincing to people that the SEC is just a flat better conference. And so they're going to get more teams in the playoff. And the SEC has not had to change anything because they've always believed, and rightly so, when it comes to it, and you get to the stuff that we really care about, which is the championship stuff, getting in the playoff, we are going to have more teams recognized than any other conference. And so I'm for anything that sort of evens that out. I could have a whole discussion about if there's like a psychology almost. It's like some years, like, Northwestern might have a good 6 or 7 win team. Like, they're a solid team. But if you beat Northwestern 21-17 on a Saturday, for whatever reason, I don't think it gets as much love or play in people's minds as if like a SEC team wins at Arkansas or Mississippi State by the same score. And this all like goes together about by the time you get to the end of the year, that they always know, no matter how the system's set up, they're going to have enough people talking up their conference that I think they get a favorable result going into the postseason with number of teams in and all that stuff. And so that's why, long answer long, I don't feel like with any of this stuff they've felt a need to play ball exactly the same, even if the money sometimes speaks otherwise in certain categories.
BC, this has been my problem with the SEC for years, right? Is you have Mississippi State's a great example, right? Let's say they go on to have a nice 6-win team, they make a bowl game, everything like that, right? And early in the year, they take LSU down to the wire. LSU's top 5 ranked preseason, like they always are. All of a sudden, we think Mississippi State's pretty good. We're like, oh man, head to head, down to the wire with LSU. Let's say they start off like 4-1, because that's what always happens, and then they finish 2-4 or whatever 2-5, whatever the numbers work out to be there. And you go, okay, like when you're at 4-1, and you go, oh man, this Mississippi State team's pretty good. Meanwhile, Northwestern does the exact same thing. That's a Michigan State, Minnesota. That's the exact same thing. But Mississippi State, because they played an LSU team close that ends up being 8-4 or whatever, and not in the top 25 even, because they played them as a top 5 team close that shouldn't have ever been a top 5 team, they all of a sudden get all this credit. This is why I call it a Ponzi scheme, because you load up the front with all these preseason ranked teams, and then everybody gets credit for almost beating the preseason ranked teams that fall out of the rankings by the middle of the season anyway, or fall dramatically below where we thought they were going to be. And then we're like, oh yeah, Mississippi State's good. Look what they almost did to LSU. And it's like, yeah, but LSU isn't what we thought they were. So we never go back to the start and kind of recalibrate our thinking. Whereas when Northwestern goes and plays an Iowa team close, that's going to be 9-3 every GD year, we're just like, no, that's Iowa Northwestern.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's all those 1 or 2 teams, maybe more, that get the benefit of the doubt with those preseason rankings. And you're right, the conversation shifts without us ever reevaluating, like in late October, November, like, oh, that wasn't actually a top 10 team, that sort of thing. You're exactly right. And obviously the names we're using of the programs, they switch around from year to year, but you know what I mean? We're talking about like that middle ground of the conference. And I just feel, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's baked into people's minds, certain teams in that league, the SEC, if there's a hard fought game or whatever against them, it's like, that's SEC football, baby. It's a tough every Saturday. It's a grind. And I do think they get a little bit of a benefit with that in people's brains, and it gets talked up by the right people on air throughout the season that they're going. And so all this leads to, by the end, when you're like, no matter how many teams are in the playoff, unless you have a set number, like you get 6, and you sort of do it a little bit NFL style with the setup, they're always going to come out with a couple more than everybody else. Even if like in the January before, everybody's like the Big Ten's king now, that always shifts. That whole topic shifts by the time we're to October, late October. It's never expressed the same way by people.
And it's super bizarre to me because they like the Teflon quality of the SEC is crazy because like I never understood last year. And listen, I like Florida State, so that doesn't bring me any joy to bring this example. But Florida State sucked last year, and they have for a couple years now. And Alabama like did not get hammered for that loss the way they should have. We thought Florida State was good for a couple weeks because they beat Alabama, who we thought was good. And then we see the rest of the season and we go, oh no, Florida State's bad. But we never went back and be like, Alabama got hammered by Florida State. That should have been a much bigger problem for their season than it ended up being.
Let me ask you something though, before you, BC, for whatever the reason, you guys, I don't see this happening as much in college basketball, and certainly not in baseball because of the different guys that can take the bump in pitching. We're very reluctant to actually go back and analyze the team. In football, I hear this a ton. Well, at the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this guy was hurt and this guy was
like
whatever.
College football seems to get at the time they were. And it ages differently in college football. Do you think that's...
No, that's accurate, but to me, that's the blanket they put on everything.
I just think that happens more in college football.
To justify their nonsense. That's what I think. I don't know. BC, what do you think?
No, I think you're right, Damon. I don't know exactly why. I suppose, college football is like the biggest thing, aside from the NFL, of course, but like it's just got so much attention and so much conversation about it year round. I suppose that's why, because we work ourselves into this very conversation we're having now, whereas a lot of people wouldn't have that about the other sports probably. So that must be the reason, but it is interesting how it's different for sure than the other sports. There's no question. You're right.
Mm-hmm. BC, I don't know how we got on the SEC stuff here, but
I think I took us there with I answered a question how my brain took it, and there you go.
How dare no, it's fine. We're talking with Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. As we're kind of in this strange period of a little bit quiet in terms of both basketball, seems like their roster is sort of more or less set. Football, the recruiting cycle seems to be a little bit slower right now in terms of, I think June, it's really going to ramp up. If I remember correctly. What are some of the things that like you're keeping tabs on right now? And like, what's occupying your mind within the Nebraska sports sphere these days?
Yeah. And this is the toughest month. There's no question about it. It's there's a little bit of scramble mode. I think we've been blessed around here that baseball and softball are doing what they're doing, and are giving us those intriguing storylines, how they go. Within football, I'm starting to dive deeper into just the different position groups, and we've talked about all these other topics throughout the off season, but now it's like, how is the too deep maybe shaking up on the D line? And I know you gotta work it out through the summer and the fall camp workouts, but at these different position groups, like who are the main 4 to 5 guys at each spot, and kind of going through them and sort of refreshing myself on where these position battles stand, where the depth looks maybe compared to a season ago. Obviously you don't know for sure how it's going to stand up to Big Ten play until you get there. But it is that point of the year where you're doing that with Nebraska's roster. And then I'm starting to look at the teams Nebraska's playing just in the early stages of it. Like the other day I was looking at just the schedules that the other squads have. And I will say the one thing that stood out to me, and I know on your show when Rule was on, he's like, we use that tough schedule to recruit guys like that Nebraska has. Like, we're not talking about the same way everybody on the outside is. And I'm glad that they're doing that. But as I did this exercise looking at the teams that Nebraska playing in their schedules, they have there's there's a bunch of teams. Maybe they don't have 3 college football playoff teams on their slate like Nebraska does, but there's squads that play Nebraska this year that have very tough games like right before, and it just reinforces this league's a juggernaut. Like whatever schedule they throw in front of you that you're going to put up on the poster on the gas station wall, it's probably going to be tough one way or the other. So I think you always got to look at it that way. The one team that maybe got away with and they still got some tough games, but Penn State maybe is the one school I was looking at, and Nebraska doesn't play them. But they had a schedule where I was like, that breaks all right for Matt Campbell for year 1, perhaps, but we'll see.
So, you know what's the interesting thing about that is if we don't kind of to the SEC and the Big Ten thing, and I don't know if this will ever happen. There is a little bit of a groundswell, but I've heard about this for like 5 or 6 years. You think college football will get to a point where you don't do preseason polls for the first 3 weeks or X amount of weeks?
I don't know if they ever will do that.
Because that's whatever that number is always going to be the barometer of how we view that team.
Yeah, that should be the way it is. I think there might be too many egos involved that like to this. No, this is my opinion. I mean, look at it this way. That I'm totally with you, Damon. But think about the day after the college football championship, the playoff championship game, you'll see 5 or 6 way too early top 25 polls. And there's just too many people involved who love to this is how it's going to break down. We love to prognosticate. I like to do it myself, and everybody gets involved in it, especially in these summer months where it's a little slower with some things. And I just think the powers that be with it, do the AP poll and have a say in that. There's so much history to it. I think they're always going to want their piece of the conversation in the summer months. It does feed it does feed conversation. I will say that in August, but leading up to the season. But as far as just what it counts for, it doesn't count for much. And unfortunately, Ravi made a great point earlier about certain teams that are top 5, top 10, even top 20. They just maybe don't belong there by October, but we don't care. We're still giving a team a lot of credit for that win or whatever. And so
unless it's Colorado coming to Lincoln, then it's whatever fits our narrative on how we view that.
Yeah, but an Oregon team that ends up going 4-8, and that's a ranked win still. So got it.
Yeah, that's the one we always cite, the game against Oregon in 2016. If you want to go into real Husker history, this is where it plays on your mind. Bob Devaney, one of his biggest wins was early, first year or whatever, when they went to the Big House. They beat a Michigan team. I think it was 25-13.
It ended up being really crappy.
Yeah, they lost 7 or 8 games. But in the moment, Nebraska came back. They were greeted at the airport by all these Nebraskans who we just went in the freaking Big House and beat them. Let's go. I don't know that they're calling it the Big House yet. But it mattered a lot to the support system around Nebraska football and stuff. So that was a case where it actually worked out well, that a team's perception of them before the season, it wasn't who they were, but it was good for Husker football and starting what became a juggernaut for 4 to 5 decades.
I promise I'm going to get to the arbitration ruling. I have one more thing. We were talking about RPI and being how antiquated it is or isn't it, and being penalized for wins. And I told Ravi, the one metric that the kind of bugs me about RPI is where the actual game is played. I just don't see that being relevant or as important the last handful of sports years. To your point about Nebraska and Devaney and winning in Ann Arbor, are there football stadiums where if you see a team win, you're that's, if they win in the shoe, or because I think sometimes we associate it with the actual team being good versus the environment. Is there Are there places, is there a Cameron in like college football where you think when you look at strength of schedules and RPIs where you would factor in where they actually got the win? Or do you think that's not as big a deal these days?
It seems like it's been less of a deal than it used to be. Like it's not, the home field isn't worth quite as much. I don't want to put a number on it, but there are a couple places. It's interesting, that question, because there's a couple stadiums that come to mind, but it's more so the environment of that particular game. Like, for instance, Penn State in prime time in a whiteout. Like, if you like, there's these specific things to college football. Like, there's certain atmospheres in a setup for a game where you're like, oh, they went there, like Oregon last year, when they won that game in overtime, and then the sort of the free fall started for Penn State. I think that was a whiteout game in prime time, and you're like, that was a good freaking win. Like, it's almost like the environment within the game. It's not just like you can say just this stadium alone. It's like there's that extra step you have to take with college football where this circumstance was also involved in it. Like, for instance, two of them happen to be Oregon that I come to mind. They did have a couple good wins on the road. They won that game at Penn State last year in the whiteout. And then I thought when they beat Iowa and I
remember that.
Yeah, the game where it was like raining and cold and all that stuff, and it didn't seem like their type of deal. And they pulled that thing out in the Iowa sort of game. I thought that was really impressive. And so it's a great question, Damon, because I don't know that I would just say there's these specific like 3 stadiums where you can't get it done there. But there are certain settings within those, the short list of stadiums where it becomes very difficult and it does impress you. But I don't know how you would, you can't put that into the metrics like, oh, this counts for more because that was a whiteout game in Happy Valley. So I don't know what you would do with that.
So let me get to the arbitration ruling, and I'm frustrated a little because people have these strong opinions in these commentaries, but I think it's just based on whether they like the department or not. It's like, oh, Dannon really screwed the pooch on this one, or, oh, this is a loss for Nebraska. And I think in its totality, like, we don't really understand kind of the scope of what it meant. My guess is that, Nebraska's deal just gets broken up into smaller increments.
Yes.
The attorney general may or may, like what happens at the state level will be interesting. But I find it weird that even with something like an arbitration ruling like this, that we pick sides without having all the information. I think Nebraska knows full well what they're doing. And this just isn't me defending Nebraska. This is just having information, right? Of why it was heard, what the SCS actually does. Like, it's not an indictment on anyone necessarily for somebody trying to find ways for MMRs to have impact or silos just to see what the rules are. Like,
yeah.
Did you view that a certain way in terms of a pro or a con or the education? I was floored by how many people don't actually really know why the case was even heard to begin with.
I view it as you got to let it play out a little bit longer. I think they know what they're doing over in Nebraska's athletic department with it. There's going to be more bumping of heads in court cases and stuff like this. There were other people lined up who have the same sort of questions or thoughts Nebraska did about how the current system is set up that were ready ready to go to arbitration, against the CSC to at least, I think, more than anything, put it out there. Like, okay, what's the ruling on this? What are we actually saying? Let's put it down in print. Like, and you got to keep it sucks, but you just got to keep having these things until ultimately you hopefully work to a ground where we're on like a level field or close to a level field. And I just think this is like a step in that process. I think as far as like hand wringing about, I get like there's always an anxiousness, like are those, those kids got to get their money, I think they will for the reason you said. I think it's going to have to be reworded and as you say, like put in smaller increments for certain things to get the payout. But I think it will happen. And the reason I think that is not just homerism or anything like that. If you listen to the head of the CSC, even when he talked to reporters, he seemed very open toward it felt like there was a branch between Nebraska and that side toward figuring this out without it getting too elbows out anymore. And I thought Dannon's quote kind of spoke to that as well. So
Yeah.
I expect that they'll be able to get that money to the guys over time, one way or another. But yeah, it's just another step in this process, and hopefully at some point, we get this thing where I want college football to be sort of level again, where you feel like, honest to goodness, where like recruiting matters. Like right now, like recruiting doesn't matter somewhat, because it's like you could have like 4 or 6 of the greatest recruiters on your staff. And then someone else comes in, because they've got a big billionaire over here who can put some money into a pot, and that's accepted for whatever reason. Well, then they can go take that kid away from you, even though you could recruit the heck out of them and have great facilities and all these things. So I just want us to get back to find a way. And I would hope all the coaches involved, except for maybe the 5 to 8 schools that are really benefiting right now, would think, that's a more fun way to play this game when we're sort of all at least closer to level.
You think this is the last one for me, BC. Do you think there's any chance Nebraska's actually like sort of playing chess here in this situation? Because I don't think it's a coincidence that Nebraska was one of the first teams to submit their NIL deals to the CSC. I don't think it's a coincidence that they're doing so with a law on the state books about NIL and interfering with NIL payments to athletes. Like, I think if they don't win their appeal with the CSC, which if they do, that's a win because the players get the money and they're good to go. But there's a part of me that thinks they actually want their deals to get struck down so that there is a precedent.
I don't know so much about that as much as it'll have some yes and no. I kind of think that because BC,
I think they want a precedent set so that when Texas when
it's Ole Miss and LSU, it'll have some teeth.
That's what I mean. Like when you've already struck down and been like, there's a part of me that thinks they have an alternate plan to get the kids their money, but also that they want this to get struck down so that at some point, like you said, there is a level playing field. Because I don't know about you, I don't see a lot of Texas oil commercials with Red Raiders in them lately. And so like I have a feeling that the reason those haven't been struck down is the deals just haven't been submitted yet.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, Ravi. I kind of agree with you. I think there's a point right now where you're like, you have to, for lack of a better way of putting it, like put it on the record, like put this on the record. Okay, you ruled here, and then there's going to be another case of some sort somewhere, and it's like, okay, put that on the record, and you got to like keep doing this until eventually you get to that point where it's like either some of the schools who are benefiting right now to a ridiculous degree for just having a rich guy in the corner, where you meet that part where it's like, this doesn't fit anymore in the parameters of what's already been established through these rulings, or it just it builds up enough ammunition from enough parties that we finally get to this point where something more significant happens to try to level things off. So I do think it is a move along one move amongst, probably a dozen probably required. Nebraska happened to make this one. Nebraska's always been, when you think about the history of stuff, Nebraska's always like at the forefront too of like pushing. I mean, they pushed the Big Ten in the 2020 year with COVID and stuff like that. That's the way operated around here. And so it doesn't surprise me that they were the first one up the hill on this. And I do think there's I think they accepted the result and like, okay, that's on the record, and they'll work it out with the players, I think, for the money and all that stuff. But let's see what the next step is now. And that's why I would be cautious to weigh in with an overly dramatic opinion about this and Nebraska got toasted or anything like that, because I don't think that's necessarily the case.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and this is about as objective as I can be about players getting paid at Nebraska. I'm just like, I think they fully expected what the arbitration decided. Mm-hmm. The statement was carefully crafted from Dannon. It now another school, like again, the Ole Miss LSU example, I'm telling you, BC, like it will have teeth. You had every parameter, you had every box checked. Neutral third party, you needed a case. There's multiple cases. It was high profile. Everybody's talking about it. Now other schools they at least have to be on notice that they're well aware of what the rules state. Right? So when people come poking around or they ask questions, or we start floating numbers of 40 or $50 million rosters, like it's like, oh, really? Do tell. Like, what does this look like for you? You know what I mean? Because we have it's precedent.
Yeah, show me the $30 million of marketing materials your players have produced for their NIL.
So I couldn't for 2 days. I'm looking at social media and I was like, God, we are not very smart. Like,
I just don't think people get it.
If I'm Iowa or Michigan State or even Michigan, like some of these, you want that ruling because you want to bring the top closer to the middle. Like,
yes,
it's not my school versus your school. Man, you didn't get your money.
Everybody versus like
it's
8 schools.
Everybody versus
like
the
LSU,
top
Ole Miss,
spenders.
Texas Tech. Yeah.
It's a tricky topic. You really,
that's what I mean. I think Georgia's in the group with Nebraska.
Like I'm like this. We got to be the dumbest. Like I don't get it.
Well, I mean, I do get it because it's a tricky topic where you really got to kind of dive into it. And if you don't, and you just go with the passing headlines, which a lot of people do on social media,
you have to actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I don't always know what I'm talking about either, for sure. But
that's tricky.
But
we can always not comment.
That's very true. I think people, especially outside our bubble, even inside our bubble right now, it seems like a little bit. People like to dunk on Nebraska somewhat, especially in the off season, despite the fact a lot of sports are going really well for this program. No, I mean, I do think like outside, especially outside our bubble, I think people like to dunk on Nebraska when they can, and so they see a headline and it's like, oh, they lost that one too, and so there you go. So that I think that's where that takes off and flies. But I'm with you on the larger point that it's just a step in the process and it's on the record now. Like it's like, okay, and now let's see what the next phase of it brings. But there's smart people in Nebraska's athletic department that have thought through, like, I think like 8 to 10 different steps of this probably, and like where this could go. Within this, you have the backdrop of the stadium renovation, and Dannon has said, I think pretty well, like the importance of, that what you can gain financially from that, and like how you need it in case it is an uncapped world or something like that. You just got to be ready for all different angles these days.
That is Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7 BC. Appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you not next week, the week after.
Yep, that's right. Thanks, guys.
Yep,
Thanks,
we'll talk to you later. That's Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. Kevin Suits from 1011 News in Lincoln coming up next. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think it's very genuine when we get to play a rival like them. Players get up for the game, and we seem to catch them at the right time at state. So they're an unbelievable program with great players, but we just had a little bit more in us today than they did.
You've been on the rise the past couple weeks. You told me last week you felt you had this team all along.
Yeah, it was kind of last year. The system we implement kind of takes a month or so. March is always rough to get going and try to get the players' personalities out of them and try to get on the same page. But we just kind of seemed to hit a groove sometime in mid-April, and I just felt confident after that.
How about the game Miles played tonight?
What an effort he had. I mean, just like Central, 2 goals, could have had another one maybe. He is, and probably choose my words properly, he's the ultimate warrior right now.
All right, Maya, get 2 today. How did this one feel?
It felt like a team win. It was all of our teammates all coming together. It was such a team win.
Can you walk us through that header that you had in the second half? That was an elite play.
Yeah, I was just locked in. It was a really great ball from Bristol. It was just a great ball. So, yeah.
And then the last one just coming in the final minute?
Yeah, we needed 5 to tie Southwest, and it was good. Yeah.
So you felt the pressure to tie the #1 team today?
Yeah. Yep.
Where does that come from?
It comes from our team. It comes from practice. We all work hard every single practice, and it really showed in our games today. Yeah. Well, we're working for Paige. We're playing for Paige, and I feel like it fully showed today. So, yeah.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Kevin Suits from 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, what's going on, man? How we doing?
Loaded question, but I'm just going to give you the calm, kind answer. We're doing great.
No,
Happy
wait
Wednesday morning.
I would say
you had that look. That is very unsuitsian. What, like you were like?
Do we need a little therapy session? What's going on, buddy? How we doing?
Okay, let's go. This is what we do when we're together. I'm sure all your viewers and listeners love it.
They do, actually.
I'm already one piece of birthday cake in. I'm hopped up on sugar just like my 2 boys because of our family's just busyness. You know, it's graduation week. We got state baseball at the end of the week. We're running in about 1,000 different directions. Today is my older son's birthday. We looked at the schedule. There is no time throughout the course of the day, which, by the way, my work's very busy right now, that we will all be together outside of like 11 o'clock at night. So we had birthday cake for breakfast, and that's how we started the day.
Kevin,
happy birthday.
I always say this. I think people think it's planted. We are kindred spirits. It's my son's birthday.
Oh.
And we have a staff meeting at 4:30 at the high school. My daughter plays at 6 at Fort Calhoun. Caleb is in and out, so we're having his birthday dinner tomorrow after, because he wants to work out from 5 to 6 with another coach. So we're gonna have day old birthday dinner at like 6:45 tomorrow. And I was so mad last night. I'm not gonna say that's why I didn't fall asleep, but like I get it, man. I'm rocking with you. So team vent over non-collab schedules for birthdays.
Well, happy birthday to your boy. That's awesome. And glad, Dad, that you're able to try to figure something out because, and, you know, DV, you're probably the best resource for me. You've gone through this, you know, having a child graduate in the week of that. Like, we don't need to spend all the time, but I kind of need all your advice on, you know, managing the emotions.
I've melted down, Kevin.
But more importantly, how do you get everything done this week? Like, I'm not sleeping, and the to-do list keeps growing, even though you keep getting things done.
I was fretting. 2 days before graduation, Coach Cooper called, and he was like, "Hey."
Oh, I remember this.
Remember?
How fast can he get there?
He's like, "Hey, we need to get our number. We need to get Caleb down here." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "We can get the housing set up." He graduated. We had to do all this paperwork. And thankfully, Jay, my wife is like, I mean, it's what she does with transition and paperwork. And we got everything done, got him registered, and moved in like 4 days of knowing. We didn't even have everything. I'm like, I don't even know how these people do this. And
there's no, I'm assuming in your case, DB, there's like no closure. You think about like sending your kid off to college and you know, living on their own. Like, you know,
listen, his roommate, Donovan Jones at the time, was moving in. He didn't really have anything either because they wanted a couple of guys to come early. And the first thing Donovan said was, he goes, "What kind of shower pressure do you think these rooms have?" And I was like, "Oh God, we're screwed." Like, because I know my kid can't do anything. So it's like my jaw dropped. I was like, what is happening? What is happening? This is not going to work. I don't know. There's no real manual. And my service the other day, they were talking about my pastor's going through the exact same thing. He's fretting. He's 19 and 20. And one of his kids was giving him a hard time. And he goes, they have books on, preteen, adolescents, babies. Like, why doesn't anybody write parenting books on when your kids leave the house? You could have heard a pin drop in that place. I was like, oh, good point. So maybe
you have no idea where your kid's going to be at and what their desires are and, what kind of path it is. And here's the other thing that, thanks for indulging us on a little dad talk here, everybody. But the one thing that I've learned throughout all of this
years ago on social media.
Very true. Very true. It's like everything you have in your mind of the way things are going to work later in life. No. You can set all these expectations and have all these perfect scenarios of sitting down and having a big talk about the next phase. No, it's in the car stuffing McDonald's down your throat because you're in between item A and item B. And everything is just so unplanned. And really parenting, I think, is just about adaptability and trying to be present when you get the opportunities.
Yeah, it's like Troy Dannon running the athletic department. I tell you, I didn't mind the ruling. I think I'm looking at this from the outside in, Kevin, with the CSC, and I'm thinking, all right, we now know what the rules are. We have a third party. We have precedent set. When these other schools start to do it, it's going to have some teeth. That's how I viewed it. You think that was too myopic?
No, I heard you guys talking to BC about this too. I think you're right on there too. There's a precedent set. There's going to be more coming. But at least the process has been gone through once. So will it deter other schools from taking similar action? No. But now, you can't play that game. Well, we did this for one school, but here comes Alabama. We got to rethink that, it can get really, really messy. So I just think this is step number one and what could be step, 93. This is far from done.
So here's the part that I think is really interesting, Kevin, is I think it sets precedent with the CSC, but B, because Nebraska does have a law on the books about NIL, I actually think it's setting up potentially a Supreme Court case between the House ruling.
You said that the other day.
And state law, right? And then if you get a Supreme Court ruling that says, hey, these things aren't valid, then you've got literal legal precedent saying, Alabama, you can't do this. Texas Tech, you can't do this. If I'm being real galaxy brain here, I think that's Nebraska's goal. If I'm Nebraska, that would be my goal, is to get it to the Supreme Court for them to say, because I don't think it's coincidence that Nebraska's cases went first. I don't think that's that Nebraska submitted them first. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. I think they knew they had the law on the books. I think they knew that it was going to directly conflict with the House ruling. And if the CSC struck it down, I think if I'm being real big brain here, I think Nebraska wants this to go to the Supreme Court, have them uphold the House ruling as opposed to the state law, so that everybody in the country has to go and say, oh, there's literal federal precedent for this. You actually have to stop doing this. It's 20.5 million and then actual real endorsements. And that's it.
So you think this is 4D chess?
Yes.
He's been intimating this for a couple of weeks. It's fascinating, but
I don't know if I'm right, but if I'm Nebraska, that's what I would be trying to set up, because as much as I love Nebraska and the resources that they have, there is a limit to Nebraska where I don't think there's limits other places. I think there's places like Texas Tech, obviously, like Ohio State, like LSU, like Ole Miss, where I don't think there is a limit on how much they're willing to spend and flush down the toilet, because they've been doing it illegally for 50 years anyway. I don't think there's a limit to that. I do think there is a limit to Nebraska. So if you're Nebraska and saying, what's the best way for us to catch up to some of these teams that are just spending out of their ears, it's not to spend out of your ears. It's to stop the bleeding at the top and say, hey, we're actually going to abide by the cap. And we're going to make a legal precedent from the Supreme Court that we are abiding by this cap, regardless of what your legislature, half of which went to your institution, and so maybe weren't the most fair and unbiased representative of that law. Like the Supreme Court says this is how it's going to be because Congress says this is how it was going to be, so that's how it's going to be.
Fascinating take. I'm nodding in agreement. I think that's you know, and a pretty well articulated, Ravi. I maybe that is the case. You got my brain spinning here. Holy, that's good stuff.
I hope so. I hope that's the end game here.
All right. Let's just stay with the head spinning deal. How are you breaking up high school state baseball coverage with the 3 sites?
Well, just do your best. You know, whatever.
You're going to eat your cake in the morning?
We might have to. We got a 9 a.m. game on Friday. It starts Class A. You know, you got the morning games with 2 Lincoln teams, East and Southwest. They're on the same side of the bracket. If they both win on Saturday, oh boy, we got the Spartans and the Silverhawks playing in in the second round, and that could be pretty spicy. They split during the regular season, and man, they have such an incredible history. Those games are pretty juicy, so that could be really fun. And then, you know, Lincoln-wise, pretty good year. Standing Bear makes it. I'm not surprised. I've told you guys that before. That's a team and a program that's on the rise. Really happy that they won their district final. Pius is at state. Not surprised by that. They got Kai Vanis. That's a team that, you know, they're playing pretty good baseball right now. They have over the past month or so. And then in Class C, Lincoln Lutheran gets in with that second wild card, and what a insanely unpredicted and unprecedented day this past Friday. In Class C, I don't know if your viewers and listeners know, of the 6 districts in Class C, the number 1 seed, which was playing at home, lost on 5 different occasions. So that's just speaking it out loud. That's crazy, right? There's 5 massive upsets. There are 2 wild cards. So that means 3 really good teams are not getting it into state. And no one, absolutely no one would have ever predicted that Malcolm, a 3-time defending state champion, would not be at state this year. Yeah. And Adams Central, with perhaps the best pitcher in the state, at least in the lower classes, and Cohen Rader, he's not at state. So I don't even know who the front runner is in Class C now. And like, not only are those the 5 like favored teams from the district's perspective, those were the 5 teams that were pretty much at the top of the poll the entire year. So we've got a field that, you know, it's kind of a bunch of dudes who just played really well when it mattered the most. And so there's some intrigue with state baseball coming up here, which starts on Friday.
How much are you dialed into what's going on with Lincoln Southwest on the boys and girls soccer side? That's been kind of, I mean, especially on the girls side, that Southwest team has been
dominant,
a juggernaut. And then you got Trainer, who just scores 100 goals every time they play anybody. Like, how dialed in are you on the Lincoln Southwest soccer scene?
Very. We've been on the Ansley Throener train throughout the entire year. You know, she of course broke the state single season scoring record in the districts, and she just adding to her total. She had 2 goals the other day in the Silverhawks quarterfinal win. I think she's up to 59 on the season now, which 59 goals in this is crazy. And I included it in one of our sportscasts where we were highlighting Ansley Throener. You know, a hat trick is supposed to be like a good day of soccer. He scored 3 or more goals 10 times this season. And she had a season high of 8 goals, you know, in one of the games. And, you know, some people might get in that space of like, this is running up the score. Well, you know what? Next Monday, Lincoln Southwest needs Ansley Throener to be on the field for 80 minutes. You know, it's a state championship. You can't be taking her off of the pitch and having her run around for 30 minutes. That's not going to set yourself up for, you know, what is needed at state, because they're going to face some really good teams. You would assume, you know, they will on Friday in the semifinals, and they will play a really good team in the championship. It might be Kearney, and that's a team that they went into extra time with during the regular season. So, you know, the run it up the score crowd, I don't know that I really agree with them. I think that Lincoln Southwest is trying to position itself to win a 3-peat. That's what they want to do, and they've got the players to do it.
It's tough in soccer to, like, with the conditioning, like you talked about, like you have to have like a certain amount of game minutes under your belt. Otherwise, it's just not happening.
And especially her, in the way that Ansley plays, like they just try to send the ball ahead, and she is so fast, so athletic, and so explosive. She, you know, her first goal on Monday at the state tournament, there are 3 defenders around her, and she had the, you know, she was dribbling and just went whoop, right in front of everybody, outran one-on-one with the keeper, and she scored. It was very impressive.
Yeah. For all you, and you would know more. I just ask the questions of people that know, because, I love female sports, and whether it's Patilla at Bellevue West or you talk Southwest, from all accounts, she appears to be a fantastic person too. Like super good, like one of those people that's actually pretty easy to cheer for. When you're that prolific, that doesn't always go hand in hand.
And she's young. She's a junior. What is she? 16?
Patilla's only a sophomore.
Right. So when you listen to the answers, you got to keep in mind, these are 15 and 16-year-olds that are giving the answers and having to talk about themselves. And the one thing about Ansley, with every single record and every single interview we've done at 10-11, she is always complimenting her teammates. She's complimenting, the back end that, they take so much pressure off of that team, and they allow them to be a pretty aggressive and offensive team. And then, the people that are up front with her, they find a way to get her the ball, because, she can only score if she's on the run. That's one thing that they can really do, is they can push the ball ahead. And I'll be honest, I don't know soccer as well as I do other sports, but at least to the naked eye, you can understand how this is a team that has a pretty clear strategy on how to get her the ball and give her an opportunity to score. And they do it so incredibly well.
That's Kevin Suits, 10-11 News, Lincoln. Kevin, best of luck with your schedule for the next couple of weeks.
Shout out Cake in the morning.
I wish you the best.
You do you, Kev. Well, if you want to eat cake, it's shoot, Ravi, he'd do the same thing.
Only if the blood sugar's low.
Bless your heart. Hey, what was the go-to cake?
It was a Dairy Queen cake, and my son wanted chocolate, so it was chocolate times 10. It was chocolate ice cream, chocolate fudge, chocolate frost. It was just so when I say we're hopped up on sugar, we are it's pumping through our veins right now.
Mike is an everything but bunt, and he's the double chocolate Oreo mini bunt cake. So
that's too much chocolate, man.
I mean, we're talking 6 degrees of separation, Kev, my man.
I do love an ice cream cake, though.
Kind of hit this morning, not gonna lie.
Appreciate it, Kevin. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
You're good.
Thanks.
That is Kevin Suits from 10-11 News in Lincoln. We're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to get back talking about college baseball with Aaron Fitt from D1 Baseball. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, Ricky's only a sophomore. It's his first year on varsity. He started off the year not as a starter, and through injuries and things like that, he's stepped into that role, and he's down the line been one of our most phenomenal players this season. And so I don't think he has scored yet, and so I think that was his first goal of the year, and a left footer to boot. And he just wrapped his foot around it, curled it into the side netting, and from there on, that gave us the result. So super proud of his effort, and just again his drive and determination.
You had peppered their goalkeeper time and again. I think you had 24 shots on goal today, and what'd he do against you guys?
Yeah, keeper played great. Tipped, I think, 2 off the bar. The shot keeper on the scoreboard is kind of a blessing and a curse because you kind of can see how you're doing during the match. It gives you a gauge. Today, again, we were, it was heavily in our favor. So, like I said, I felt like we had controlled the match and put us in a good position to win. So.
Coach, how does it feel? It's been over 12 years since your team got this state tournament win, and now this is the team that does it. How does it feel just coming off?
Obviously pretty incredible. That was a great effort from a great group of kids. And so this group has been working really hard since they were freshmen, and I'm incredibly proud that they got us to this point.
What was the difference maker for your team coming into this state tournament that was different than years past?
I just think the experience of being here, it's a big stage. The field's big. The emotions are just different because for a lot of these seniors, it could be their very last. And so I don't think all kids understand what it actually means until you're here on this field. So we've had a ton of different experiences down here, losing in a shootout and kind of not showing up and now showing up. And so this one feels way better than the last couple. So yeah, I'm just proud of them for showing up tonight.
How does your team play with so much confidence? I mean, it showed in the scoreboard, but it was apparent very early.
I just think they trust one another. You know, we've talked a lot all year long that this group's pretty selfless. Anyone can step up at any given time and they don't really care who it is. And they just celebrate one another when it does happen. So I just think they trust each other and just have fun.
I think it's very genuine when we get to play a rival like them. Players get up for the game, and we seem to catch them at the right time at state. So they're an unbelievable program with great players, but we just had a little bit more in us today than they did.
You've been on the rise the past couple weeks. You told me last week you felt you had this team all along.
Yeah, it was kind of last year. The system we implement kind of takes a month or so. March is always rough to get going and try to get the players' personalities out of them and try to get on the same page. But we just kind of seemed to hit a groove sometime in mid-April, and I just felt confident after that.
How about the game Miles played tonight?
What an effort he had. I mean, just like Central, I mean, 2 goals, could have had another one maybe. He is, and probably choose my words properly, he's the ultimate warrior right now.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mayo Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ, reminding you, give our friends over at Next Gen a call, 402-614-9700. I don't know if they'll get you to be able to run as fast as Micah, but they will get you to be able to run as fast as you can. And maybe if you're like Rico and running too fast sometimes, and maybe you didn't condition your body for that, they can help you with some healing. You know, I know you've like pulled some calves in the past. They can help you out with that.
Look, I'm just trying to get back to a 10.8.
That's pretty fast, man. You may have to cut out. You may have to cut out the diesel dew.
You guys give me a hard time about 20 mile an hour. Ain't no way you're getting back to a 10.8, Suave.
There's more of a chance Rico does that than you get to 20.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, hold on. I feel a challenge brewing here.
Whoa.
How much closer to 10.8 can I get than him to 20 miles an hour?
So we're gonna have to do this by like a ratio, right? Because those are two different measurements.
I think 1 mile an hour should be a tenth. So I think you're closer to 11.6, and I would be closer to 15 mile an hour.
I'm closer to 11 flat than you are to 15 miles an hour.
And also, if Rico just cuts out Mountain Dew, he gets there.
He's probably, honestly.
That is by far the biggest obstacle for either of them, though, is Rico cutting out Diesel Dew.
So here's the thing. I did not know anything about I grocery eyeball for Shane. So I go to look at things I think that he'll like. I send him messages and pictures. I'm like, hey, your place has this. En route to where I have to walk in the store, there's a huge display of things that Rico likes.
Doritos?
No.
Okay.
It's all Mountain Dew. The boxes look like the United Colors of Benetton. When did they get all those flavors and still call it? I saw peach.
Yeah.
It was listen, I went up to the box. I was like, I know that's it. Because it looks like spray paint, like the how they say Mountain Dew on those crazy boxes.
Oh, like the graffiti?
Yeah, so I couldn't read it.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
what's that say?
I think that's peach. Like
You should give me you should get the peach one for me. I haven't tried that one. I've tried all the other ones. They're all pretty solid.
He asked so kind. It's like, oh, I think I'll get him a case. I feel like I'm contributing to your delinquency, but I'll do that for you.
He'll do that. You can't get back to a 10-8.
No. Like I would cheer for you to run a 10-8. I would. I would cheer for you. But
that would be phenomenal.
I got to question you guys. And AJ, I'm not asking you because you'll turn this into something weird. But when does a product that's known for something branch out too much where you don't get back to what they're known for?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Right? Because isn't Mountain Dew, like Mountain Dew was the thing that everybody drank to get their morning right because it was Mountain Dew. Right?
I don't know about mornings. That may have been so when I was coming up, when I was a young lad,
aren't they diversifying too much?
So that is a fair question. So Mountain Dew was like the kids' energy drink before energy drinks were a thing, because it had the sugar and the caffeine.
Yeah.
And so that was sort of like if you were going to a buddy's house on the weekend and play video games, you were getting Mountain Dew. Like that was your thing. Usually for me, it was like a stay up late thing, not so much a get up early thing. Right. By the way, if you have trouble staying up late or getting up early, call NextGen 402-614-9700. But I agree. So here's, I think, the problem that Mountain Dew has run into is a lot of their diversification has been very successful.
Like the
Code Red and
the
Baja Blast have been like Code Red was like revolutionary.
Code Red went full like you talk about the gaming stuff. Code Red was like number one for gamers.
If you're a gamer, you love Mountain Dew Code Red. Like that was the deal.
Huh.
And then Baja Blast became the Taco Bell thing, and then they started like bottling it and canning it because for a while it was only available at Taco Bell. And so they've been very successful in some of these diversifications. But to your point, they seem to have lost the plot.
Dude,
like there's a lot
there was
going
probably, and I didn't like study. There were at least 6 different boxes.
So
they've gone. So like so there's the OG Mountain Dew, and then there was Code Red, and then for a while, Livewire was only during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
They would do that.
James cheesing, he knows all of this.
There was like a blue
Code Red for a second too.
What's up?
I thought didn't they have like a couple different varieties of Code Red at one point too? I thought it was
just Code Red. There's like a blue one that I can't remember. It was like Voltage, Mountain Voltage.
I feel like there was like different variations of Code Red. I think
there was.
Because there was like, I remember there was like a gaming version where it was like the Re-Energizer or something like that.
I think there were a couple different variations.
I know they came out with they have Mountain Dew like energy drinks now. They had straight gaming ones.
So they went Mountain Dew, I think it's called Fast Break or something is the energy drink or something like that. And they've gone like hard seltzers. Like they've done
like liquor?
Yeah, Mountain Dew has done alcohol.
You could only
they've done.
I was like 3 summers ago. You could only get it in Iowa, and I had a cousin go get some for me. They're actually pretty good.
Mountain Dew. I feel like Ravi typing. I'm a voice texter.
But yes, to your point, I do think there are times in which companies, athletic departments, teams, coaches lose the plot, right? They diversify to a point where it's like, I don't even recognize what we're doing, to quote the great Doc Sadler. Like, and I think Mountain Dew is dangerously close to that point.
We're going to be all right.
Where I don't Kickstart was the energy drink. Thank you. Thank you,
It's
Funky.
delicious. But the thing is, like you said, everything that they've been doing
So a
is
lot of them-
successful.
Well, not everything. I don't think the alcohol was that successful. I think a lot of people liked it, but I don't think it sold that much.
Well, they only did it in like specific markets to test it, and
Okay.
like you said, it wasn't, so they just canned it.
So I think they do a pretty good job of like putting something out there and then like scrapping it if it doesn't work. But I don't know. Like I have a really hard time balancing innovation versus identity. Right? Because
Well, I'm not talking about like Taco Bell doing chicken nuggets.
No, this is the Oreo cookie discussion. There are way too many Oreo cookies in the world.
fair, yes, because you got your double stuff, whatever, and then you're like, okay, we got reverse, and then we got vanilla, and then we got lemon, and there's all sorts of stuff going on, and it's like we're doing too much.
Isn't
Oreos.
Oreo the one where I talked about that singer? Hers was raspberry velvet or
yeah.
velvet.
Red velvet cake.
Yes.
Oreo's doing too much.
What was their name?
That wasn't like Lizzo, was it?
No, it was with an L though. Who did Oh Boy leave that he was in love with? The young guy. She broke his heart. Selena Gomez. I was thinking Lena. I think it's the Selena Gomez Oreos.
Okay. I do think there's like a larger discussion there of like,
Shane, are you a purist? No, you're not a purist. You like the spinoff of Mountain Dew for a while. What was it?
I got Baja Blast in the fridge right now at home.
Big Baja Blast guy.
I like the Frost Mountain Dew.
What's is it the, I assume it's white like the cherry Gatorade?
Yeah, it's frosty.
Dude, I do like the cherry Gatorade.
The Frost?
Yeah.
It's arguably, next to cucumber, it's the worst flavor.
Oh, cucumber's terrible. I would never drink the
The
cucumber.
purple one was good for a while.
The low sugar, super sus.
A few years ago, Mountain Dew did a gingerbread flavor.
Yeah.
For like Christmas. And I tried it and it was awful.
I tried to get, we have a cooler outside. And so for like softball, I tried to do either the low sugar or zero. And they had the bigger ones, like 2 for whatever. So sometimes I just pour them in our smaller deal because she's not going to drink a whole. And I was like, oh, let me try this. Yeah, no. Lemon lime was fine.
Lemon lime's good. It's classic.
But I'm an old, I'm
the
an
old
old
flavors.
school Gatorade. I like yellow, I like orange, and the only new one I would say I like is apple.
Oh, I've never had the apple. I would never try
apple,
that.
Apple's fire.
Never tried.
But
the
I'm
apple.
probably yellow or orange.
I do a lot. I like the Gator Lights.
I knocked those off.
Yeah, I like the Gator Lights a lot. So that's the one. I haven't had the regular Gatorade. That's the one I like the cherry and the white one.
Yeah,
that's the one I like the cherry.
When I want to not feel guilty about consumption, oh, that's my diluting.
You're like, I'm hydrating.
2-in-1
Electrolytes.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself. It's all about the Jedi mind tricks. Wait, Juan, I'm not. So 2 things real quick, Juan. Number 1, I need a faster way to get a hold of you than DMs, because was that first base row you were in last night or behind home plate? And why were you there so early? Number 1.
Listen, some people like getting games early.
Number 2,
hanging out, watching them warm up.
Is he just going to continue on this LJS slander? Like, I'm not here for that.
Yeah. I mean,
we talked about going to, hang out, but I don't know. Like, can I hang out with, is Juan in his 20s, do you think?
I would say late 20s, early 30s. I would guess 28 to 32 would be.
That might be too young for me to hang out with. 30s is fine.
Yeah, but if he's 28, you're out.
You hang out with me, DB.
Yeah, he's in his 20s.
Yeah, Austin, I was terrified. It worked out. I had a good time. It's fine.
Haas, if you remember Jolt, you remember, what was it, Surge? Was that the other one, Rico? You seem like a Surge guy. You might be too young, though.
No, I know Surge.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck, I can, man. Like, I'm telling you.
Surge was the one they banned because they thought it was
Surge was the crackhead of Mountain Dews.
Yeah, Surge was aggressive.
I'm about to go down to Taco Bell and give me a Baja Blast.
Kobe was like the original after Jack that I wanted to hang out with. Jack was the first guy that I wanted to go.
You want to go to
see.
Tennessee?
I want to go cook in a skillet, live off the grid. But then Kobe had me interested.
Oh, that's right. Juan's 28. We had his birthday in the chat the other day.
No, that was Kobe too. Kobe just turned 28.
Kobe also 28?
Kobe's 28.
Yeah.
Juan does not seem 28.
You think he's younger?
Yeah. And I've never seen him. I'm only going by the description you showed. You told me about.
I mean, I didn't give you a big description.
Yeah. You said, well, he's sitting down, but I think he's a little guy, pretty Hispanic. This, that, and the other. Yeah, I felt like it was pretty good. I got a visual.
Okay. That's fine.
I feel like that's pretty accurate.
I would guess late 20s, early 30s.
He had sweet seats last night, too.
Oh, Funky says he thinks he was 25. Oh, jeez.
Who?
He thinks Juan is 25.
No. I don't know.
He had good seats at the Supernovas when I saw him, too.
No, Juan has a good job.
I don't remember what Juan does.
I do.
Okay.
I'm not going to dox him.
We'll have to talk about it later.
Yeah, Juan.
Bounty hunter.
Haas says, forgot about Surge. That made your teeth vibrate.
I don't like that flavor. So what do you call that flavor?
I don't know. I never drank Surge.
I always say it tastes like Mountain Dew, but Mountain Dew isn't a flavor. Like, what's the flavor?
I think technically it's lemon lime.
No.
I don't know what Mountain Dew's flavor is. Mountain Dew is just Mountain Dew. Surge is crack.
I don't like that. I don't like that flavor.
What flavor is Mountain Dew?
It's the nectar of the gods, is what it is.
Apparently, Chuck had good seats too.
They just call it citrus flavored soda.
Citrus.
I
could see that
straight from Mount Olympus.
Because I don't like Fresca either, but that's more grapefruity. I don't.
Oh, I like Fresca.
I do not.
I've had my first Fresca like 2 years ago.
Dude, we run through Fresca.
So Matt,
peach, I
do
all of it.
Matt DiMarinis is a big Fresca guy.
Is he?
Yeah, and so the first time I ever had it was at I think at a Creighton game because they had some. They were out of Diet Coke, and he's like, "Oh, just grab a Fresca," and I didn't know that it didn't have any calories in it. And I was like, "Oh, I can't." I was like, "I can't have regular soda." He's like, "No, Fresca's cool." And so I had it. It was good.
Do they have zero? I need somebody needs to make me or come up with, or maybe they have and point me in the right direction of a 0-calorie ginger ale. Because I'll rock with cream soda, ginger ale, or Sprite.
I like Sprite. Sprite's good.
Sprite is fire.
Yeah, Sprite's quality.
Or 7-Up.
Yeah, I don't think I have a preference between the two.
I think there's a difference. There's got to be, right? It's like the Coke Pepsi thing.
So you know what was really good back in the day?
How'd we get on this?
Rico's Mountain Dew.
Oh,
I would say
see, it was sports related.
There is a difference if you're talking about difference between Surge, Mountain Dew, Jolt, and all that. I mean, Mountain Dew's way better. There is a difference in the taste.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to throw this out there. We're gonna get to our picks today. I just want to throw that out there.
It's Wednesday.
They don't. What time do they start?
They tee off tomorrow. That's a good call, Shane.
I don't want to get too far
and have the lead and then pick the winner.
Because I've done that before.
Like, why would you do that? Well, I mean, you paid dividends. I still can't find a Mountain Dew hard seltzers.
They exist.
No, I know. Like, I can pull it. Google like has a search. Let's see. They will tee off tomorrow.
I'll say, can you look at the tee time?
We should have time to do it in the morning because of where it's played. So it's not like we're going to be behind time.
Yeah, we could do it in the first hour probably. Maybe.
I think so. I mean, we could actually censor ourselves.
Well, I don't know about that. That seems aggressive. Why would we do that? Why would we censor ourselves, DB? It's a free-flowing conversation. Just having a good time. Rico said the F word today.
Early.
He got my one in this week.
He did. No, that was an aggressive one. That counts as 2 at least.
I love how he keeps saying it's 1.
I know. It's like 2 or 3.
I haven't said this as 1 this week. I haven't said it. I didn't say any last week.
That is your one
this
week.
It's basically however mad you get because that's one of the first words you're going to say.
That's my one. That's my
kind of flow.
It's like,
that is one of my favorites.
It's
Could you give us a ranking of your favorite swear words?
It's coming.
Not that.
I love that I can hear Austin laugh when your mic's on.
What?
He turns his mic on. I just hear Austin in the other room go, ha ha.
Did he rank them?
No, not yet. Go ahead. What's your
Well, honestly, one of my favorites you guys don't like is the C word.
Oh God, why?
That's probably like number 2.
Oh, geez.
F word's number 1.
What, crap?
Yep.
No. Yeah, crap. Sure.
Oh, hey, Shane might be onto something because Pennsylvania. It's in Pennsylvania, right?
Oh yeah, so they might be early.
That's East Coast.
Okay, give me 2 more. Rico.
MFer. It's a fun one. That one's very diverse. You can use that one in a lot of different
I
ways.
count that as part of the F word. That doesn't.
Does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Derivatives go under the same.
Ravi's is Nicola.
Yeah, that's his favorite.
I thought it was Richard Head.
No, that's DB's favorite one.
Yeah.
Calling people a DB, a Dean Blandino.
That's up there.
I don't even think that's a swear word.
I don't think that's a swear word either.
Yeah, I don't count.
The B word's fun.
Yeah.
Especially all the derivatives off of that.
You got to be careful these days, though.
I don't.
It'll pay you guys. It's right on Central Standard 7 our time.
All right. Do
you want to do first?
Yeah, let's
right off the bat.
No, we should probably do it today.
No, do it first thing in the morning. Ravi goes, "Good morning. It's Hurrdat Sports Live. Here are our picks."
Everyone would be so confused. They'd be, what's happening right now?
Tevin Campbell. Now you won't get the reference. Never mind.
Tevin Campbell, the running back?
Tevin Campbell used to sing a song.
That's Tevin Coleman, right? Tevin Coleman was the running back?
Yes.
Okay. Indiana? You said Tevin Campbell. I immediately thought running back. I was like, oh, yeah, he was a nice little back.
Waterloo, Iowa. Singer.
Oh,
He used to sing a song called Confused. And it would say, I'm so confused about the way that I feel.
I don't feel like there's a lot of Tevins in Waterloo.
Oh, there's black people.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
What's Waterloo, Iowa like?
It's part of the Quad City. It's right by the Quad Cities.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I used to like I was in high school. And she was absolutely amazing. Didn't age well.
Tevin?
Did not age well at all. And no, amazing Daniel, it wasn't plastic surgery. She got into goth, which I didn't think people of color did, but
big goth guy, huh?
No. Actually, I'm not at all.
Huh, deal breaker?
For 17, I was winning. Whenever you get through,
I'm out.
I'm just saying. Are we doing this before or after FITT?
Let's do it right now.
Well, so AJ, no, I don't trust him. Rico, write the number down. I was going to say Austin can just say the number, but he has a preference of who he likes the most between me, you, and Shane.
Okay.
So
Rico, what's your number?
Between 1 and 10?
Yeah, whoever gets the closest.
I got it.
Shane, pick a number.
5.
Guy, he went right in the middle.
DB.
In honor of Rico, I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know. I am the numero uno. I'll take 1.
8.
It was 5, so Shane nailed it.
All right, Shane. First pick. Go ahead.
Damn, so I'm last?
I'm going to go Scotty.
I'll go Scotty. Wait a minute. I need a pen so you can write.
If you don't start talking like a goddamn adult, you're not getting any picks.
I said I'm going with Scotty.
Okay, I just want to see the real voice.
Scotty.
I'm going with Scotty.
All right. He's got Scotty Scheffler. I will go.
Wait. Go slow.
I'm writing them down. Don't worry. Oh, you got to look up the odds?
No, because I want to make sure they're still.
I've got them.
Because we said 8,000 to whatever.
I thought it was 70. We said 70 to 1, right? Because you were going to do 65. I said to go 70.
Ravi.
I'm gonna stay pretty close to the odds here because there's a pretty big gap. I'm gonna go Rory here.
Okay. There's a huge gap.
Yeah.
So I'm back to back, right? And we're 3 in a long shot.
Yes, because 4 we thought was too heavy.
All right.
Yeah,
so
there's a little gap here after McElroy to Cam Young.
We got a big gap here. I'm gonna go with. Oh, this is my man Drake. I get to go back to back. I'm gonna go. Give me Cam Young.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back to Ludwig.
Big Oberg guy.
I'm going to go back to that well.
All right, so I'm up next. Give me
Check I got Scotty.
Rom.
All right, Beethoven guy.
Rom kind of hurt me last time.
Rom kind of hurt me last time.
I'm going Shoffley.
Oh, big long stroke guy.
Big Xander guy, huh?
Big Xander guy.
Do like a long stroke.
Well, if his blade is hot, he'll be right there. He's going to strike the heck out of that thing.
All right, Shane, you're up.
I'm going to go Brooks and Bryson.
Oh,
wow. YouTube star Bryson DeChambeau.
I did go through a stretch where I watched him hit golf balls over his house.
Yeah, I did too.
So you go Brooks and Bryson?
That's what he'll be doing full time once Liv collapses.
Well, if they open up the straight ever.
Is that why the Saudis are like, hey, we're a little tight on funds right now?
When you have billions
can I change my mind then?
No.
Why the hell not?
Because you made your picks.
I love whiny Shane.
Why not?
Why not?
Why the hell not?
Please.
Give me Matt Fitzpatrick.
No, that's who I wanted.
Sorry, bud.
All right.
You're going to go Morikawa.
Do I go back to the Morikawa well? No. I like him, though.
So this is
I want to be able to cheer. So you get
your one and then your long shot.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take I can't believe I'm going to do this. And I'm going to leave you alone, John Rahm. I'm going with Fleetwood Mac.
Return of the Mac.
And hopefully he won't tinkle it down his leg if he has a Sunday lead.
Tommy Fleetwood.
And my long.
So 70-1.
My long duck dong. Give me. I think he's got one in him. Give me Jordan Spieth.
Dang it. That's where I was going to go.
No, do you want to know? I'll give you another good one.
Who?
So
Straka?
No, Neiman.
Oh.
I almost went with Joaquin.
I do enjoy the name Joaquin.
Big Andujar guy. Do you remember Joaquin? You weren't born for Joaquin Andujar.
I wasn't. I was
Joaquin Andujar.
Who was the pitcher for
Cox, Worrell, and Tudor?
Who was the pitcher for the Royals? Joaquin.
Soria.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Do you know why Do you know why I know that?
Why?
Because we had a D lineman that was really good named Joe Soria.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I called him Joaquin.
That makes sense.
God is my witness.
All right, I'm going to take your advice. We're taking Neiman.
All right, I hope you lose.
Well, that's rude. I'm
Shane,
blame it on you.
Reed didn't make the cut. He's just under the window.
I don't want Reed. I want Spawn. Is it what's the number from? I think my number changed. I have an old list.
Spawn doesn't count. Spawn's above it.
Yeah, he's plus 65. He's 6.5 to 1.
Oh.
You need 8 to 1 or greater.
Oh, I'm sorry. My list doesn't go down that far.
You got Matsuama. You got Sepp Straka. You got,
Lowry.
People like Gary Woodland to maybe make a run.
Matsuyama. My guy, Akshay Bhatia.
I don't know, man.
David Puig. Keegan Bradley. Jason Day.
I apologize.
Shane, just stop me when you hear a name you like.
No, he's thinking.
Kitayama.
No.
Think Jason Day's got a good run in him?
I'll go McNeely.
All right, Peter.
Maverick.
Eminem.
All right.
Maverick McNeely.
Lock it in. All right, let's take a quick break. We will come right back, talk a little college baseball with Aaron Fitt of D1 Baseball. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, Ricky. So Ricky's only a sophomore. It's his first year on varsity. He started off the year not as a starter, and through injuries and things like that, he's stepped into that role, and he's down the line been one of our most phenomenal players this season. And so I don't think he has scored yet, and so I think that was his first goal of the year, and a left footer to boot, and he just wrapped his foot around it, curled it into the side netting, and from there on, that gave us the result. So super proud of his effort, and just again his drive and determination.
You had peppered their goalkeeper time and again. I think you had 24 shots on goal today, and what he do against you guys?
Yeah, keeper played great. Tipped I think 2 off the bar. The shot keeper on the scoreboard is kind of a blessing and a curse because you kind of can see how you're doing during the match. It gives you a gauge. Today again we were it was heavily in our favor. So like I said, I felt like we had controlled the match and put us in a good position to win. So.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Aaron FITT of D1 Baseball. How we doing, man? What's going on?
I'm doing great, fellas. How are you guys?
Fitty, looking good as always. You're giving me some Tommy Fleetwood, Cam Young vibes, man. Are you looking for? Are you a golf guy?
I am a golf guy. Actually, I play the same ball as Tommy. I'm just leaning right into the comparisons. I'm playing that picks ball.
Listen, he's one of my picks. We each drafted 3 plus a long shot, and Fleetwood made the cut. So go, Tommy. You look sensational, man. Are you over? You knew this was coming. It doesn't blip on your radar. Are you into this RPI cancellation hot topic over the last handful of weeks?
I think it's funny because it's been happening for years now.
Years?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why all of a sudden it's such a big deal. It's just like, this is not a new phenomenon. It's just, and all of a sudden this committee's decided that they're going to send out this mean letter about it, but we don't know what they're actually going to do. I mean, I just don't understand how you can punish teams that are trying to maximize their chances using the metrics that you've given them. Like, we know how RPI works. I mean, you can play a bad team and beat the crap out of them, and you go down in the RPI, and you're better off not playing. If the system is stupid, then fix the system. Like, otherwise, I don't understand how you can punish teams that are just trying to avoid this penalty for playing games. You don't know when you schedule, in a lot of cases, that the team you're playing is going to just kill your RPI at the end of the year. Sometimes you do. Something you schedule you schedule certain programs and you kind of know what you're getting into. But in other cases, it's not your fault that this team that maybe you scheduled a year ago wound up having a lousy year. Yeah. And so, I don't know, like it's complicated. On the other hand, like, it's not a good look when teams are just ducking opponents and canceling games. I get that. The optics of it stink. But I think the solution is if this is an RPI driven problem, then we need to just scrap the RPI.
All right, let me ask you something. We made the analogy. I said, listen, college basketball has been a lot around longer with more guys that delve into the analytics. So we get Ken Palm, we get, Warren. There's other metrics that people use other than RPI. I actually used to defend baseball, and I'm thinking, okay, RPI is antiquated, but for the sport of baseball, I could see, of the major sports, I could see it still being a metric, whether it's KPI or anything else that you may like. Is there another resource that you think has enough data points over time that would lend credibility to being used in college baseball? Because there's a lot of newbies. Are there any that you think have enough teeth to it over time?
Yeah. So, first of all, I'll give the NCAA, the committee, credit because they have, I think, improved their process, and now they are actually officially incorporating multiple metrics. It's not just RPI like it used to be. You've got the KPI for baseball, and you've also got the new DSR, the Diamond Sports rating or ranking that our partners 643 Charts have put together. Yeah, it's cool because it doesn't penalize teams that play a game and win it. At the very least, if you win a game, you're never going to drop. You might not gain as many points as somebody else gained when they beat a better opponent. Now, if you lose a game, sure, there's still risk there. But I mean, if you win a game against a team you should beat, you're not going to drop in DSR, and so that's the advantage of that system, among other advantages. But and I think there's room to use multiple metrics, in concert with each other. It's just, if RPI is still king, which I think it still is. I mean, these other metrics are nice to have, and I hope the committee will do a good job kind of blending these things and looking for outliers. Like if RPI is a real outlier compared to the other two metrics, or vice versa. I hope that can be a scenario where it's helpful and it kind of tips the scales one way or the other. But in the meantime, if RPI is still king, then you're still going to have this problem with canceled games. It doesn't matter how many other metrics you incorporate if that's the one that you lean on the most.
Would you have lent more grace to, hey, because some teams will say, listen, we don't have enough arms. We're trying, would you buy the expense argument where,
no,
listen, man, we're trying to just save money, because it is expensive. I'm surprised more people don't say that, because I think we would be, we would have a little more grace. That's got to be part of it, though, right? Or just nobody's saying that out loud.
Yeah, I mean, it's just about the RPI, really. I mean, it's just, and I respect it. A few years back, Jim Schlossnagle, I can't remember if he was at A&M or TCU, but they canceled a game, and he just flat out said it publicly, like, yeah, like playing this game hurts us in the RPI, so we're not going to do it, and I appreciated the candor of that. I think he got skewered, I'm sure, but like, don't be coy with us. The weather cancellations when there's like a 10% chance of sprinkles, 2 hours before the game. Come on, guys.
Well, sure, I had me checking the forecast a couple weeks ago, like I missed something.
It's silly. Some of it's just silly. Now, Boston College canceled the game recently because where their location geographically, they kind of have to overschedule, and so they had like 57 games on their schedule, and they happened this year not to get any of them rained out, and so they canceled the game because they would have been over the 56 game limit. That's valid. But short of that, there's not, most of these excuses are garbage, and everyone knows it, and it's just, I do find it entertaining the kind of the charades that these people play. The poor sports information directors trying to spin this stuff when they cancel a game. It's bless their hearts, I guess.
Nobody was up in arms when Purdue was trying to get into the Big Ten tournament and Nebraska couldn't get games in. It's like, hey, wait a minute. I thought you guys had TERP, right? Like, we just flew under the radar unless you were a Nebraska fan.
Imagine that.
Right. All right. One team I want to ask about in particular, just because I think they're flying under the national radar, but their conference is well represented. How good for you is this Georgia Tech baseball team?
Yeah, they're awesome. I think they're awesome. I mean, I think it's the best position player group in the country, full stop. It's as good as, Georgia can hit, and UCLA's got superstars, but there's just, the entire team at Georgia Tech is, 1,000 OPS from 1 through 9. It's just like you've got superstars and elite draft picks, multiple first rounders with Drew Burris and Von Lackey. And, I think Jared Vincula is probably also a first rounder. I mean, he's the best second baseman in the country. I mean, it's just, there's crazy high-end talent, but also the depth and the guys that you don't even really think about, like, Will Baker down there is just this kind of dangerous left-handed hitter that's having a big year. And, Caleb Daniel, they got all these guys that like aren't even famous that are just real bats, and so that's what I love the most is it not only is it a home run hitting outfit like it always is, but they're just really good at hitting, period. The hit tool stands out. They control the zone, and their 2-strike approach is as good as you'll find in the country. And there's a lot of doubles. It's not just a feast or famine kind of offense. And I appreciate that they're multidimensional and have power. And listen, I think they're good enough on the mound. I mean, better than they have been historically. It's not an elite pitching staff. It's not North Carolina or Oregon State, or Texas on the mound. But I think it's certainly good enough to get them to Omaha and give them a chance to win it all, because their position player group is that special. And they do have a lot of stuff on the mound. It's just a matter of throwing enough strikes, and the encouraging thing is I think that the key guys in the bullpen are strike throwers and just kind of veteran pitchability guys rather than guys who just throw 100 and it's scattered. I'd rather have a trustworthy strike thrower eating up those innings, like a Mason Patel or Dylan Lloyd. Those kind of they're two guys there.
Aaron, do you think we kind of undervalue the ACC a little bit? I mean, I think they've got 8 or 9 in the top 40 of the RPI. Like it's a pretty solid conference. It's only a couple teams, I think, behind where the SEC is. But it seems like is it just the high end? I mean, I think they have like 3 in the top 9 or something.
Carolina's, and I'm biased.
Yeah,
at least they have a staff that's good enough to win.
It doesn't seem like there's as big of a gap between the actual baseball as there is between the narrative. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, the SEC is deeper. I mean, there's no question about it. Like, there's more of a drop off after you get past maybe the top 7 or 8 in the ACC than there is in the SEC. But at the top, I mean, I think Georgia Tech and North Carolina, you could take those two against any two in the SEC. As good as Georgia is, as good a years they've had. Texas, we've seen lately maybe some kind of cracks in their armor at Texas, and Auburn's playing great. But I don't know that I would take any of those 3 teams over Georgia Tech and North Carolina. And then you could throw Florida State in the mix as well as kind of a third high-end contender. I don't know that I have quite as much faith in Florida State staying power, just with again, they've been doing this without Miles Bailey, who's by far their best their best hitter. And credit to them, they've continued to win enough to be right here in the top 8 national seed discussion. Long term, like if I'm buying national title contenders, I don't think I'm buying Florida State to that degree. So the SEC probably has a few more teams that I would consider high end championship contenders, whereas the ACC has 2 really, really high end contenders.
Let me go to the other team in Georgia, not named Tech, just the Bulldogs. Offensively, I think they're right almost at a 330 team batting at 320. Gaudy team batting average right there. Offensively, they've been good for a few years now. What do you think makes this staff different, where this Georgia, I'm not going to say underachieve, but meets the expectations of the regular season prowess?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say they have underachieved in the postseason last couple of years. When you're home for a regional and a super, and you fail to go to Omaha. I mean, that's a disappointment. I mean, it's still a great year, but it's a disappointment. And this year they've won the SEC handily, with a week to go, and you have to regard them as one of the leading contenders, to win it all. So they don't get to Omaha this year. I think it will be a major disappointment, but I do think that they've got a little bit more continuity now. I mean, they famously have gone all in on the transfer portal stuff. They're more portal heavy than any team in the country. But now you've got a few of these guys who transferred in a few years ago and have been together now. I mean, Daniel Jackson and some of these players that have been real factors. Obviously, Jackson's the one that really leaps out at you, but Colby Branch at shortstop as well. I mean, you got some continuity at your key spots up the middle, and Trey Phelps, their best players, a 3 or 4 year guy there at Georgia. And so, I mean, I think that matters. I mean, as far as you're trying to build a culture and a chemistry at a place where you have a ton of transfers, I think sometimes, that's hard to do. And I think they've done a pretty good job with it, even though, again, they brought in a large group of transfers, but it feels like they've hit on their key guys on the mound. There's a little more pitchability this year. Caden Aoki being a really key piece of that. He's been awesome for him, the transfer from USC. And, you still have your giant arms, your Joey Volchkos, your Dylan Viggies, but those guys have been solid enough. And it feels like the bullpen is a real strength, and they can kind of ride the hot hand a little bit. So I think they're probably a little more reliable on the mound this year than they have been the last couple of years. And I think that's the biggest difference, because you're right. They've been very offensive for a while now, for multiple years, and they certainly still are. I just think they're probably a little better on the mound and a little better defensively too.
Want to bring it down locally here a little bit. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, it seemed like most people thought Nebraska was in really good position to host a regional. They get swept by Ohio State. And all of a sudden that feels questionable at best. As you're looking at it right now, they just have the 3 games left against Minnesota after sweeping both the season series against Creighton and their most recent Big Ten Conference series against Iowa. Is Nebraska still a team that you think has a shot at hosting a regional?
Yeah, for sure. And, I think we just had our projection this week come out yesterday, and we had them in that first group of 4 teams just outside hosting, and they're kind of just jostling there. That I would say, really teams 14 through 20 are all kind of jumbled right now, and Oregon obviously has a head-to-head advantage over Nebraska, but they're kind of right next to each other in the standings. And, we projected Oregon to host this week because we think they're going to win that USC series. But if they don't, I think that certainly opens the door for Nebraska. And even if they do, Nebraska's got some good metrics. I mean, it's, they're second place in league, 27, and when the RPI is there, number 15, where it needs to be to host, and it's a good quad 1 record, 9-7, and the other metrics we talked about it, the DSR, the KPI, the KPI is still kind of right there. Also, DSR is a little bit lower, so maybe that hurts them a little bit. But I mean, I just think if they'll get a nice boost this weekend going on the road when they play Minnesota. Right, that series is up there. So you finish with 4 straight home road games rather, with the Creighton win the other day, and I guess that's a neutral site. No, that was a road win, right, for Nebraska yesterday. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that helps. And then you've got 3 on the road at Minnesota. And then you got some conference tournament opportunities. So they're right in it, And I like their club. I think they're very dangerous. I mean, I think it's a team that can get to Omaha. Again, I like the veteran experience, the postseason experience, the toughness. The fact they had to battle their way just to get into regional last year after having high expectations heading into the year, and they kind of fought through it and found a way. And I think that experience can really carry you, the season after.
FITT is, listen, I talked about this maybe it was Monday or something, and I said, listen, of the top 25 teams, only 6 have 40 wins, and one of them's SC. And Nebraska fans don't think super highly of SC because of their showing against us, but that staff is still it's top 5, 6 in the country with ERAs, and they get guys out. If Nebraska gets to the low 40s win total in their conference, for you, would that be hosts worthy, being in such rarefied air?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that helps, and again, especially because they've also got the higher end wins. Like, unlike if you look at USC, they're already sitting here 41-12, but they're 0-8 against quad 1, whereas Nebraska's 9-7 against quad 1. That's way louder. We've got Nebraska ahead of USC, and obviously they also have the head-to-head advantage over USC. So just getting to 40 wins, okay, that's nice, but like you got to look deeper than that. And in Nebraska's case, when you look deeper, it holds up pretty well. And so that's why I think they got a real chance at it.
Sticking here in the Big Ten for just a second, obviously the Big Ten tournament's coming to Omaha next week. All eyes will be on Nebraska here. Obviously, you've got UCLA coming in with the gaudy record. Any other storylines in the Big Ten that you're kind of keeping track of?
Well, I think Purdue and Michigan are the 2 kind of bubble teams, if you will, in the Big Ten. Michigan's surging, they're really hot. I think they've won 6 straight series, something like that. They're up to 17-10 in the league now after kind of a rocky start. Their first half wasn't great, but RPI is up there now, and like we've got them at the moment comfortably in the field. And then Purdue is just a team that really needs wins. They're on the bubble, but RPI is kind of hanging in there, the standings wise, but they just need some quality wins. That's what they're lacking. It's only 2 wins against quad 1. And so, those are the 2 teams I think you can look at to maybe try to jostle for at-large position, and that's probably it bubble-wise. I don't think there's another team that can really make a run up to that range in the league. And so, will somebody else play spoiler? One of the lower seeds make a deep run and crush some dreams, or maybe even steal a bid. That would be the other storyline to watch. I don't know that I see a team lower in the standings that I think is capable of doing that this year. I just think that the teams at the top are considerably better, and I think there's a pretty big gap.
Not a tricky one, but it's been a long time since Odeby, McDowell, and Barry Bonds, and listen, they've got a former great manager that's now in Milwaukee. How much attention do I need to be paying to Arizona State?
They're extremely offensive. They have probably the best
team batting average. Yeah.
They have probably the best hitter in the country in Landon Hairston, the man they call Harry Bonds down there. The son of, he leads the country in OPS. He's the son of Scott Hairston, longtime big leaguer, and he's pretty special, but really it's another one of those teams like up and down the order. There's a lot of power, and they do take pretty good at bats, and defense can be a little bit shaky. Their strike throwing can be a little bit shaky, but like, gosh, they have a lot of stuff on the mound. Cole Carlone, their ace left-hander. I mean, he'll show you 100 miles an hour from the left side, with 4 pitches and wipeout slider. And I mean, he's got 115 strikeouts, in 70 innings and hadn't even walked that many guys. Like, he's really good. It's just, do they have enough behind him? And can they play enough catch, but gosh, their position play group is very talented, very physical and imposing. So yeah, I think they're definitely worth keeping an eye on, because I think if they can get into the postseason, which they should, but I mean, it's been a little bit rocky and RPI isn't quite where it needs to be. If they get into the postseason, I do think they're capable of making some real noise.
Do I need to adjust my rear view mirror at all? What's when you look at Minnesota, kind of flying under the radar, certainly in the conference, I think from a respect standpoint, what's the level of surprise on what the Gophers pulled off up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I would say modestly surprised. I don't know where we had them projected to finish heading into the year, but I do like some of their players. But I think they've had a nice little year. I mean, to get to 30 wins, they had really been struggling for the last few years. But you've got some power arms in that staff. Cole Selvig, of course, and I know Marcus Cruzen's had a really good year for him, and Weber Neal's one of the better catchers out there. Really, like he's a quality veteran, proven guy, and I think they've done a good job building around him. So, I think that's a team that could maybe play a little bit of spoiler this week. I don't think they're going to make it run all the way. Yeah,
I'm looking at. I mean, you referenced Michigan. I'm looking at teams as Nebraska and some of these teams try to get ready for the Big Ten tournament. We're obviously be there. I'm looking for teams. I thought it may be Iowa the way that they were playing down the stretch. I just don't know if they're going to get enough guys out with how Nebraska hit that staff, and it could have just been a blip. I'm looking for teams in the Big Ten outside of like that I think could be a tricky out.
I'll say, Ohio State has another team that's really improved this year.
Well, they gave Nebraska fits.
Yeah, that's right. They swept Nebraska, which was.
So you don't got to tell us about Ohio State.
Good call, Fitty.
But and they also they had some other really strong weekends this year. Like they've really taken a step forward. So I mean, it's Justin Hare's a great coach, and boy, they took their lumps last year, but he's got them back on the right track.
They shouldn't be good. I've been saying this since Nebraska's been in the Big Ten.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it's I don't know. It's one of those things that they just kind of fell upon some hard times there and had to rebuild the thing, and I think they have a lot of infrastructure, a lot of things to like and tradition, and it's come on, it's the Ohio State University and all this. Like, there's plenty of talent in state. They really should be good, and I think they've got the right coach now. I think they are going to be a factor moving forward in the Big Ten. And right now they're just playing with some confidence, and I just think they could be spoiler for sure. And Illinois, I mean, Illinois has been a little bit frisky this year. I mean, I don't think they've been able to quite get over the finish line against the good teams they've played, but they haven't gotten swept, except for by USC early in the year. But they're interesting enough. I mean, so those are a couple of teams that I think could win a game or two, just be enough to kind of be a headache for the teams trying to build their postseason cases.
Unfortunately, I work with a couple guys and I get the pageantry and the parties and the excitements. I'm more of a purist. I want good quality baseball, and hopefully this team fits both, but all in or all out, because these guys want West Virginia to somehow get to Omaha with that fan base. All in or all out on the Mountaineers.
Gosh, I was just in Lawrence, Kansas this past weekend for what I thought was
club. You like KU?
Yeah, no, I like them both, but gosh, West Virginia just went in there and swept them, on their own field and held them to 5 runs in 3 games. It was quite a statement. I mean, I do think they're the best pitching staff in the Big 12. And they've gotten better and better. I mean, Max Yale become a real dude. They're big, donkey left-hander who's 4th year. He is. Yeah. He's a big man. He's built like Garrett Cole, it just kind of has that grown man physicality, and it's real stuff too, and crossfire. And he went the distance, first career complete game against Kansas, a good Kansas offense. You know, and then you got a kind of low slot joker and Jansen Cole behind him, and they piggybacked him the other day with Ian Korn, who's got real good stuff out of the pen, and they can give him 4 shutout, you know. And I like that they've got multiple guys that give you length out of the pen. Reese Bassinger, the kind of sinker slider veteran guy, came in, gave him I think 5 shutout innings on Sunday. So you know their pitching is quite good. They're very athletic, play great defense. Gavin Kelly is an absolute superstar behind the plate. I mean, he can also play middle infield. So it's kind of inevitable that he gets some Buster Posey comparisons, because there just aren't a lot of guys in the history of college baseball that have been adept, you know, really good defenders in the middle infield and behind the plate. That's how athletic he is. And he's done both. And he also has real bat speed, and the power starting to show up too. He's had 6 home runs in a 5-game span.
Of the top 10, in the top 10 that will get regional host sites, for you, is Texas the shakiest of the bunch right now? Or do you have another candidate of highly thought of top 10 teams?
Yeah, Texas is wobbling at the moment. No question. I mean, you know, and I think Luke Harrison struggling there is a little bit of a concern in their rotation. You know, Roger Riojas has had a great year, but a little bit wobbly the last month or so. I think he was better this past week. You know, and their lineup, once you get past the first 5 or 6 guys, it's much more pitchable than a lot of these other top lineups, I think. That said, I mean, their high-end pitching is really good, you know, and so I still think they're really good and one of the leading contenders. But yeah, I think right now they're not playing their best ball, and they're kind of showing some cracks, and so that's maybe a concern. You know, A&M love their offense, don't love their pitching staff. I don't know if they've got the arms to really get it done.
What about Southern Miss?
Yeah, Southern Miss is one that we loved early in the year. You know, got some great non-conference wins, and then they kind of went through a little bit of a rough patch. Still were mostly able to grind out series wins against lesser teams, but what they do is they reshuffled their pitching, and they put some of their key bullpen guys in the rotation, and it's really worked for them. And now they're surging. They're playing their best ball again at the right time. I think they found the right formula. I like their team a lot. I love their pitching, and it's a very good veteran position player group, you know, just older winning college players that have been together a while. So yeah, that's the team right now, I think, out of the mid-major, you know, conferences that I think has the best chance to make a deep run. Even though Coastal's had a great year and is still leading that league, I think I have a little bit more faith in Southern Miss this year.
Let's take Southern Miss out of it. You mentioned Coastal. If I give you Missouri State, Coastal Carolina, UC Santa Barbara, and let's say Jacksonville State, and we'll throw Liberty in there.
I thought you might say Navy.
We'll throw Liberty in there for fun as well. Which of those kind of mid-major, non-power conference teams are you feeling the most?
Well, I still think you got to give Coastal their due. I mean, they played for a national championship last year, and I think it's incredible what they've done. I mean, the season that they've had, despite the injuries they've had, you know, of course, they famously were without their ace Cam Fluke for the first, about 10 weeks in a row, you know, with a rib injury, and he's a first-team preseason All-American. Yeah, I mean, and he's back now, but it's like they're still kind of trying to build him up, and so they're kind of having some rocky moments there as they do that. We'll see if he can get back to peak form for the postseason. If so, that's a real difference maker. But you know, they also didn't have Hayden Johnson, their projected number 2. He hadn't thrown a pitch all year. Their first-team preseason All-American closer, Dominic Carbone, the Godfather, hadn't thrown a pitch all year. Yeah, great name. So the fact they've been able to win as much as they have with all these guys down on the mound impresses the hell out of me. Now it's just a matter of, do they, you know, can they get back to playing their best ball here? And you know, their lineup's okay. It's not awesome, but they're winners and they grind you a little bit. And again, a bunch of guys who played in Omaha last year, you know, there's value in that. So that's the team that I still think, you know, even though I like Southern Miss a little more right now, I still think that Coastal could get it together and make a deep run. And you know, out of those other groups, those Conference USA teams have all had nice years. You know, maybe Jacksonville State's got the front end pitching. I mean, Liberty's got a real ace. I don't know if they've got much pitching after that. Missouri State is a very offensive team. Don't know that I really trust their pitching to make a deep run, you know, in the postseason. So all those teams, you know, tip your cap to them. They've had nice years, but I don't know that I'm seeing any of those teams be Omaha darlings this year.
All right, last one for me, just because I have to take advantage of your expertise, because a lot of people like Coach Bish nationally, and Cincinnati's cracked the top 25 now. How does this process happen as you're kind of watching it unfold with Cincinnati?
Gosh, the guy's just such a great coach. He's such a great coach.
He's highly thought of nationally.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. He was at Central Michigan, for what he did there, and just the style that they played with was so distinctive. And it's a ton of energy, and sometimes they can rub people the wrong way, the way they play. It's just like a bunch of, it's like that kid in the pickup basketball game who's just D'ing you up, like right in your face. It's like, come on, man.
Pickup.
Yeah, it's a whole team of those guys, except they also have some just big old superstars. I mean, Quentin Coates hits the ball as hard as anyone in the country. I think his average exit velos. I mean, he's got as much power as anybody, so he's not just a little Nat Rugrat pickup basketball player. He's a real man. But and they got a real ace too with Nathan Taylor. So I just think he's done a great job bringing his culture over from Central Michigan. They still run a ton and put so much pressure on you with their speed and just their ability to pick their spots in the base pass. They just really drive you crazy. It's a tough team to defend, and I think they've done a good job kind of making strides on the mound as well.
All right, dinner on me at the Drover if you can figure out the connection of why I asked about Coach Bish.
Oh boy. I don't think I know.
You would be a flat out Jeopardy genius.
You stumped me. I hate that.
He coached at Midland in Fremont in 2014.
Wow.
I'm like, this is, you know what I mean? Believe me, I'd love to sit down and eat with you anyway. But if you'd have bagged that one, I'd have been like, you could have just dropped the mic and walked off.
That's impressive. That's quite a connection right there.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
That is Aaron FITT, D1
Good
Baseball.
as always.
Appreciate your time as always. We'll see you here in about a month.
All right, fellas. You have a good one.
Thanks, Fitty.
That is Aaron FITT from D1 Baseball, and that's the show for today. But
were you wondering what I was doing?
I didn't realize that. Yeah. You know what I did realize though?
He's only 45. You would like the way they play.
Yeah.
Oh, they're annoying.
Why would I like that?
Because they're in your. It's like, hey, stop us.
Yeah.
Stop us.
That's fair. You know what you can't stop, and that's Wing Wednesday over at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. You can get 12 traditional or boneless wings for just $12. Pick your sauce, grab a drink, and settle in for a game. Whether your team's riding a hot streak or just need a break from the week, Wednesdays are built for wings.
Pay the $1 upcharge and get them breaded, baby.
That's what DB says. It's at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. It's Wings Wednesday. Go ahead and check them out. We'll be back tomorrow with more Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.